Chapter 772. The Green Tortoise Race? Su Chen exclaimed in surprise. According to Zhou Yun's description, he could basically confirm that the aliens that appeared on Thousand Feather Island were from the Green Tortoise Race. However, what he couldn't figure out was that he had massacred the Green Tortoise Race a few days ago. How could they have the guts to come to Thousand Feather Island to hunt humans? Could it be that they were ordered by other races? Su Chen felt that this was very likely. After all, he had killed too many aliens. It was not impossible that they came to Thousand Feather Island to take revenge. Thinking of this, Su Chen hurriedly called for everyone to board the chariot. Whether this was the reason or not, he would know after interrogating some of the Green Tortoise Race members. Satoshi, leave the Huangzi mountain range and search for the aliens, Su Chen ordered. Yes. The intelligent war chariot flew into the air again and began to search. After being upgraded to level 8, its search range had expanded to 1,500 kilometers. However, there was not a single black dot in this range. Master, there are no aliens nearby. Where should we go? The intelligent war chariot asked. Su Chen thought for a moment and said, let's go to Vajra City. Vajra City was one of the largest cities in Thousand Feather Island's Huanglin district. Even if the Green Tortoise Race had massacred it last time, there should still be many survivors. If the Green Tortoise Race attacked Thousand Feather Island again, the humans in Vajra City would definitely not let them go. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order and locked onto Vajra City. Because the intelligent war chariot had been installed with a wind spirit stone, it flew as fast as lightning. In less than an hour, the image of Vajra City appeared on the central control screen. Moreover, there were thousands of black dots in Vajra City, and there was not a single blue dot. It was obvious that Vajra City had been occupied by aliens. The humans inside had been massacred. Su Chen's face was gloomy as he said in a low voice, Satoshi, zoom in on the image of Vajra City and see if there are any aliens inside. The image on the central control screen changed, and the Green Tortoise Race appeared. It really is the Green Turtle Tribe. Su Chen gritted his teeth and said, when we reach King Kong City, everyone, attack together. Don't let a single Green Turtle tribesman go. Kill them all. Chenggu, don't worry. These bastards are all waiting to die. Sure, Dainyu said indignantly. Gu Tianhua and the others had no objections. Since the Green Turtle Tribe dared to slaughter humans on a human island, as a human, it was only right for him to wipe them all out. When they arrived at King Kong City, Su Chen activated the recruit system and bound himself to Gu Tianhua and the others. Following this, he gave the order, kill. The moment the car door opened, everyone rushed out and charged toward King Kong City. For a moment, the entire Vajra City was filled with screams. Su Chen flew to Vajra City and captured a level 3 Green Tortoise tribesman. He began interrogating him. Who sent you into Thousand Feather Island? The level 3 Green Tortoise tribesman's arms and legs were all broken by Su Chen. At this time, he was wailing loudly, as if he didn't hear Su Chen's question. You're courting death. Su Chen released his mental power and tore off the level 3 Green Tortoise tribesman's arms. Ah! The Green Tortoise tribesman screamed and hurriedly begged for mercy. Senior, please spare my life. I'll tell you everything. If you dare to say another word of nonsense, I'll make you regret living in this world. Su Chen stared at the Green Tortoise tribesman and coldly shouted. Chapter 773. The Green Tortoise Race member trembled, and under Su Chen's gaze, he obediently confessed, Senior, it was an order from the 5 super races. Sure enough. Su Chen muttered and continued to ask, why did they do this? It seems to be because of a person called Su Chen. The Green Tortoise Race member thought for a moment and said, Su Chen killed a lot of people from the 5 super races. The 5 super races couldn't catch him, so they massacred the humans in Su Chen's hometown as revenge? Su Chen's eyes were unusually cold, and a violent murderous aura lingered around his body. Thousand Feather Island is the place where he transmigrated to this world. It can be regarded as his second hometown, so he has some feelings for it. The 5 super races dared to wreak havoc here. This is a great taboo for him. At this moment, he secretly vowed that he will not let a single one of the 5 super races go. Even if he does not slaughter them all, he will make them pay a heavy price. Su Chen took a deep breath, calmed his mood and asked again, Did you enter Thousand Feather Island through the domain passage or from other islands? Senior, there is no domain passage on Thousand Feather Island. We all came from other islands. The Green Tortoise Race member did not dare to conceal anything and truthfully said. Su Chen narrowed his eyes, pondered for a moment, and then punched the Green Tortoise Race member. The situation on Thousand Feather Island was more serious than he had expected. The 5 super races actually joined forces to deal with him. As a result, almost none of the humans on Thousand Feather Island could survive. The possibility of Han Kuan and the others surviving was very small. Su Chen sighed, and a cold light suddenly shot out from his eyes, and then he joined the hunt. In just half an hour, all the Green Tortoise Race members in Vajra City were slaughtered. After collecting the fragments, Su Chen called everyone to get in the car and set off for the next target. After spending nearly 10 days, all the aliens on Thousand Feather Island were wiped out. Unfortunately, he still could not find any trace of Han Kuan and the others. Su Chen did not intend to continue the search. There were more important things waiting for him to deal with. The change in the Crepe Myrtle Mountain was very likely a trap set up by the other forces. If that was the case, the Sun Moon Star Palace would be in danger. He had to return to the mysterious heavenly mainland as soon as possible. After making this decision, Su Chen ordered the intelligent war chariot to head to the mysterious heavenly continent immediately. Along the way, when he passed by some islands, he found that these islands were basically occupied by the foreign races. If it was in the past, he would definitely not let any of these outsiders off. However, returning to the mysterious heavenly mainland was more important. As for the foreign races on these islands, he could only come back to kill them when he had the time. Half a month later, the intelligent war chariot finally arrived at the mysterious heavenly mainland. In order to save time, Su Chen did not choose to enter through the teleportation formation. Instead, he put everyone in the intelligent war chariot into the chaotic space and entered the miasma alone. With his current level 10 cultivation and the ancient god-fiend body, he was able to travel freely in the miasma and enter the mysterious heavenly mainland easily. Just as Su Chen was about to take out the intelligent war chariot, he suddenly heard the sound of an intense fight not far ahead. The noise was so loud that it was as if the earth was shaking and the mountains were shaking. It was definitely a fight between high-level cultivators. Su Chen glanced at the place where the fight was going on and slowly sneaked over. Soon, he saw 3 men fighting in a small forest 100 meters away, and he just so happened to know one of them. It was the sect master of the Flowing Water sect, Yuqi Jingyang. Chapter 774. At this moment, Yuqi Jingyang was surrounded by danger under the siege of 2 level 10 cultivators. It seemed that he would not be able to hold on any longer. Su Chen looked at it for a while, then rushed up like an arrow. When he was at Crepe Myrtle Mountain, he noticed that Yuqi Jingyang had a good relationship with Xianxia and Nan Lichuan. Although he didn't know what had happened, he decided to save Yuqi Jingyang first. Su Chen rushed forward and instantly released his mental power. His cultivation had reached level 10, and his mental power was like a vast ocean, crushing forward. Yuqi Jingyang and the other 2 were enveloped in it, and they felt as if they had fallen into a swamp. All of their movements became sluggish. This sudden situation gave the 3 of them a fright. When they saw that it was Su Chen who was rushing over, the 3 of them had very different reactions. The faces of the 2 men who were fighting Yuqi Jingyang turned exceptionally grave. Yuqi Jingyang, on the other hand, was overjoyed. He hurriedly said, "Su Chen, these 2 people are from the Assassin League and the Ouyang family." Hearing this, Su Chen's face was covered with a layer of frost. The Assassin League and the Ouyang family had a huge grudge against him, and it was very likely that these 2 families were behind him being sent to the abandoned land. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at the 2 men, then punched out. Bas! Bas! After a violent tremor in the air, 100 huge golden fist shadows appeared in the air, and Su Chen's fist pressed down. The golden fist shadows fell together. Bang! 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 Amidst an earth-shattering collision, the 2 men were smashed into 2 piles of meat paste. Seeing this, Yuqi Jingyang's mouth was wide open, and his face was filled with shock. He couldn't speak for a long time. He clearly remembered that when they were at Crepe Myrtle Mountain, Su Chen was only level 8. How did he reach level 10 in less than a month? Furthermore, his strength had reached an unimaginable level. He had easily killed 2 level 10 powerhouses. There was also another point. Wasn't Su Chen sent to the abandoned land? After entering the abandoned land, it was impossible to come out. Then how did Su Chen do it? All kinds of questions lingered in Yuqi Jingyang's heart. Just as he was about to ask, Su Chen spoke first. Sect Master Yuqi, where are Sect Master Shang and Senior Nan? Yuqi Jingyang's expression darkened, then he sighed. They were captured. Captured? Su Chen frowned. Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan were definitely top-notch level 10 fighters. Even if they were to encounter someone who was several times stronger than them, even if they couldn't win, it shouldn't be a problem for them to escape. Who could capture them? Who did it? Su Chen asked anxiously. Wind Shi Dynasty's saint-level ancestor, Wind Crane Xiang. Yuqi Jingyang said with lingering fear. A strong saint-level cultivator actually entered the abandoned land? Su Chen squinted his eyes as a murderous intent flashed across his eyes. The grudge between him and the Windhope dynasty had reached the point where it would not end until one of them was dead. Since the Feng family's ancestor dared to enter the abandoned land, it was definitely a good opportunity to eliminate him. Sect Master Yuqi, where are Sect Master Shang and Senior Nan? Su Chen asked Su Chen. They should have been brought to the Feng family. Yuqi Jingyang thought for a moment and said with uncertainty. Su Chen's mind moved slightly, then he asked, why did Feng Hexiang capture Sect Master Shang and Senior Nan? Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan had the support of a saint-level cultivator. If Feng Hexiang dared to do this, wasn't he afraid of angering the Sun Moon Star Palace's saint-level ancestor? I don't know the details. Yuqi Jingyang shook his head and looked at Su Chen. He sighed, but there are rumors that the 5 major races cultivators are pressuring the human race to kill you and the people related to you. It just so happens that there are people on our side who don't like you, so they hit it off. Chapter 775. So it's all because of me. Su Chen muttered. He could imagine that whether it was the humans of Qianyu Island or Shang and Kaili, they were all implicated by him. The reason why the 5 super races were pressuring the human race was because of 2 reasons. One was because he had killed too many foreign races, and the other was because they were afraid of him. Just think about it, he was not even 20 years old, but he had the strength to crush a level 10 cultivator. Once he grew up, he would be amazing. Therefore, they wanted to completely eliminate him before he reached the sage level to prevent future troubles. Thinking of this, Su Chen couldn't help but sneer. There were too many people who wanted to kill him, but so far who could do it? It was impossible in the past, and it was even more impossible now. Since you want me to die so much, then I'll kill all of you. Su Chen secretly made up his mind. After the matter here was settled, he would go to the realms of the foreign races one by one to visit them. As for those saint-level powerhouses, when he had accumulated enough fragments, he would enter the void and kill them one by one. Yuqi Jingyang suddenly felt a strong murderous intent from Su Chen's body and couldn't help but tremble. He probed. Su Chen, are you okay? Su Chen took a deep breath and said lightly, I'm fine. With that, he took out the intelligent war chariot and invited Yuqi Jingyang to get on. Satoshi, search for the location of the Feng family of the Feng Shi dynasty. Go immediately. Su Chen ordered. Yes. The intelligent war chariot locked onto the Feng family and sped away. Su Chen, you're going to the Feng family to save people? Yuqi Jingyang asked uneasily. The Feng family now had a saint-level ancestor. Even if his cultivation was suppressed, he was not comparable to an ordinary level 10 cultivator. He was a little worried that Su Chen would be in danger if he went so rashly. Su Chen nodded and said with a cold expression, I'm not only going to save people, but I'm also going to completely eradicate the Feng family. Hiss. Yuqi Jingyang sucked in a breath of cold air. In order to eradicate the Feng clan, he had to kill Feng Hexiang as well. Could Su Chen do it? Su Chen, Feng Hexiang might be overseeing the Feng clan. Do you really want to go? Song Yuqi Jingyang reminded. Su Chen knew what Yuqi Jingyang was thinking. He smiled and said, Sect Master Yuqi, don't worry. Feng Hexiang's cultivation is suppressed. Even if we were in the void, I would still be able to kill him. Seeing how confident Su Chen was, Yuqi Jingyang couldn't help but widen his eyes in shock. A level 10 cultivator dared to claim that he could kill a saint-level fighter? This was the most unbelievable thing he had ever heard in his life. Jianghu swallowed his saliva and didn't linger on this topic. Instead he asked, Su Chen, how are Jianghu and the others? At that time, when the Crepe Myrtle Mountains transmission array opened, Jianghu and the others were taken into a space by Su Chen. After that, he hadn't seen them and was quite worried. Don't worry. Senior Brother Gong and the others are all in my chaos space. If Sect Master Yuchi wants to see them, I can let you in now, Su Chen said with a smile. There's no hurry. Jianghu heaved a sigh of relief. He was relieved to know that Jianghu was fine. As for meeting him, there was no hurry. Su Chen, how did you get out of the abandoned land? Jianghu continued to ask. This was also what he was curious about. It was rumored that once one entered the abandoned land, it was absolutely impossible to come out. Su Chen didn't hide anything and briefly explained what happened in the abandoned land. Chapter 776. When he heard that there were so many experts in the abandoned land, Jianghu's heart skipped a beat. At the same time, he was deeply shocked by Su Chen's powerful strength. Killing 2 false saints and thousands of experts above level 9, each of them was earth-shattering. No wonder he threatened to eradicate the Feng family. After learning about Su Chen's true strength, Jianghu came to a realization. If he could even kill a false saint, then he had a great chance of killing a sage-level expert on the continent. This was because a sage-level expert could only exert level 10 strength on the continent. On the other hand, Su Chen could not only kill a false saint. With the help of 2 false saint experts, this strength was more than enough to deal with the Feng family. Thinking of this, Jianghu's tensed nerves finally eased a little. Sect Master Yuchi, why didn't Feng Hexiang kill Sect Master Shang and Senior Nan? Why did he capture them? Su Chen asked in confusion. Logically speaking, killing Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan would solve all problems and eliminate all future troubles. There wouldn't be any changes. Then why did he capture them? Jianghu thought for a moment and replied, maybe he was afraid of the sage-level ancestors of the Sun Moon Star Palace. Su Chen nodded and felt that this was very likely. The Sun Moon Star Palace had 2 sage-level experts. One was missing, and there was only one left. Moreover, the remaining one was about to die. Once he knew that the Sun Moon Star Palace was destroyed, he might choose to die together with them. This was also what the other sage-level experts were afraid of. After that, Su Chen and Jianghu chatted for a while before sending him into the chaos space. He sat in the driver's seat and closed his eyes to rest. 2 days later, the intelligent war chariot appeared a few miles away from Jianghu City, the capital of the Wenxi dynasty. If he wanted to rescue Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan, he couldn't make too much of a commotion. Otherwise, he would alert the enemy. The other party might even use Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan as hostages to threaten him. In order to avoid the situation, Su Chen planned to rescue them quietly. As long as he sent Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan into the chaos space, he would be able to go all out. Satoshi, search for level 10 practitioners in Jianghu City, Su Chen instructed. Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan were both level 10 cultivators, and there weren't many level 10 cultivators in Jianghu City. If he checked them one by one, he would definitely find Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan. Yes. The intelligent war chariot responded and began to search. 5 minutes later, the intelligent war chariot said, Master, we found a total of 6 level 10 cultivators. Satoshi, lock onto them and enlarge the image. Su Chen's heart skipped a beat. He was sure that Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan were among the 6 level 10 cultivators. The image on the central control screen changed, and soon, a large hall appeared. There were 4 people sitting in a circle in the hall. Lu Qianqin of the Frost Ice Palace and Lei Qingtian of the Qilin sect were among them. The remaining 2 were from the Assassin's Alliance and the Ouyang family. He had seen the 2 of them on the Crepe Myrtle Mountains arena, but he didn't know their names. Satoshi, where are the other 2 level 10 cultivators? Su Chen asked. He wasn't sure if the remaining 2 were Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan, so he was a little nervous at the moment. The intelligent war chariot replied, Master, the other 2 are in a secret room in the hall. Show them, Su Chen said anxiously. The image on the central control screen changed, and a secret room appeared. The secret room wasn't very big, and there was an iron prison cell. Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan were in the prison cell. However, their situation was very bad. Not only were they covered in injuries, but they were also tied up with star chains. Chapter 777. Knowing that Shang and Kai Li's lives were not in danger, Su Chen heaved a sigh of relief and continued to ask, Satoshi, search for the exact location of the false saint. In order to save Shang and Kai Li, in addition to dealing with Lu Chenqin and the other three, he also had to guard against Feng Hexiang. Before taking action, he had to figure out Feng Hexiang's location to prevent any accidents. Master, we found 2 saint-level experts in a room next to the main hall, the intelligent war chariot replied. 2 saint-level experts? Su Chen frowned. One of them must be Feng Hexiang. But who was the other? Satoshi, transmit their images, Su Chen ordered. The image on the central control screen changed, and soon 2 men appeared. One of them was an old man with silver hair, and the other was emitting a dazzling golden light, and his eyes were sharp. Su Chen glanced at them, then opened the chaos space and communicated with Yuqi Jingyang and the others. Through Yuqi Jingyang's explanation, he knew that the old man was Feng Hexiang. As for the man emitting golden light, they did not know who he was. Then, everyone discussed and decided on a plan. Su Chen flew to the top of Zhanfeng City, and after locking onto the main hall where Shang and Kai Li were imprisoned, he jumped down. There was a rumbling sound. Su Chen smashed the roof with 1 foot and rushed into the main hall. Who is it? Lu Chenqin and the other 3 in the main hall exclaimed in unison. Su Chen, you're still alive. When they saw that it was Su Chen, the 4 were stunned for a moment, and then launched a crazy attack on Su Chen. Su Chen's main purpose was to save Shang and Kai Li. Before he saved them, he did not want to fight with the other party. He flipped his wrist, and the moment the chaos space opened, Wu Yazi, Li Kuiyang, and Yuqi Jingyang rushed out. According to the previous plan, Wu Yazi and the other 2 would be responsible for blocking the other party while Su Chen would rescue the other party. The moment Wu Yazi's group of 3 appeared, they clashed together with Lu Chenqin's group of 4. Su Chen did not waste any time. There were still 2 saints in the room next door. Once they heard the commotion, they would rush over. He had to seize every second. Su Chen released his spiritual force and locked onto the location of the underground secret room. He punched the ground and entered the secret room. Su Chen. Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan were pleasantly surprised. Originally, they all thought that Su Chen had been teleported into the abandoned land and would never return in this lifetime. They never thought that not only did Su Chen come out, but he also came to rescue them. This was truly unexpected. Su Chen, the saint level is coming. But at this moment, Wu Yazi suddenly shouted anxiously from the hall. To be able to make Wu Yazi so anxious, the other party's strength must be extremely powerful. Su Chen no longer hesitated. After smashing the cell, he directly put Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan into the chaos space. Then, he quickly returned to the hall. Unexpectedly, just as he entered the hall, he saw Wu Yazi and Li Kuiyang sent flying with a punch from the man with golden light all over his body. So strong. Su Chen frowned. One had to know that Wu Yazi and Li Kuiyang were also experts in the same realm. He did not expect that the 2 of them would be sent flying with a punch even when they joined forces. From this, it could be seen how powerful the opponent was. Su Chen, this guy is too strong. Wu Yazi climbed up from the ground and quickly walked to Su Chen's side, saying with lingering fear. Chapter 778. You're Su Chen. The Golden Man didn't continue to attack. Instead, he narrowed his eyes at Su Chen and asked in a cold voice. I'm Su Chen. Who are you? Su Chen rubbed his nose and said indifferently. You don't have the right to know who I am. The Golden Man snorted with contempt. I heard you have a high-grade gold-devouring bug. Hand it over and I'll leave your corpse intact. Gold-devouring bug? Su Chen thought for a moment. He silently opened the pet-raising space and contacted the Flaming Phoenix. Flaming, do you know this Golden Man? The Golden Man's aura was somewhat similar to the gold-devouring bug. This made him wonder if he was the Holy Demon Tribe's holy rank gold-devouring bug. The Flaming Phoenix said in a trembling voice, Master, he's called Jin Guangyu. He's our Holy Demon Tribe's holy rank gold-devouring bug. How can he transform into a human? Su Chen asked curiously. After reaching level 10, no matter what race you are, you can transform into a human. The flaming phoenix explained. I see. Su Chen said in realization. He then looked at Jin Guangyu and said coldly, Jin Guangyu, I'll give you a chance. Be my spirit pet and I'll spare your life. He's Jin Guangyu? When he heard this name, Wu Yazi's body trembled. As a former holy rank expert, Wu Yazi had heard of Jin Guangyu's name. It was rumored that Jin Guangyu was a first-stage holy rank gold devouring bug. It was said that his defense was invincible. No one in the same stage was his match. Wu Yazi looked at Su Chen in a daze. His heart was very complicated. Su Chen actually wanted to tame a holy rank gold devouring bug as a spirit pet. Wasn't he too bold? Admittedly, Su Chen was very strong. But in Wu Yazi's opinion, he wasn't Jin Guangyu's match. Brother Jin, this brat is too arrogant. Are you going to do it, or should I? Feng Hexiang glanced at Su Chen and said to Jin Guangyu. Jin Guangyu took a deep breath and suppressed the fury in his heart. He sneered. Su Chen, I've long heard that you're unbridled and that you don't put anyone in your eyes. I originally wanted to leave your corpse intact, but it seems that's impossible now. As a saint-level existence, his status was extremely high. Su Chen actually wanted to take it as a spiritual pet. This was simply a great humiliation. At this moment, he'd been completely infuriated by Su Chen, and he swore to tear Su Chen into pieces to vent the hatred in his heart. As soon as he finished speaking, he moved like a primeval beast, and he carried a violent and murderous aura as he charged towards Su Chen. Brat, let's see how you'll survive this time. Feng Hexiang curled the corner of his mouth into a cruel smile. Su Chen had continuously killed the direct descendants of the Feng family. He had long wanted to cut Su Chen into pieces. Now that Jin Guangyu had made his move, Su Chen would definitely die. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and stood motionless in the same place. He seemed to be defenseless, but in fact, he had already silently activated the arm-length golden scales and the through heaven 100 times vigorous force technique. When Jin Guangyu rushed to him, he punched out. A golden fist shadow slammed heavily on Jin Guangyu's body. There was a boom. With a loud bang, Jin Guangyu was sent flying like a cannonball, crashing into a large part of the building behind him. Hiss! Witnessing this scene, everyone sucked in a breath of cold air and looked at Su Chen dumbfoundedly, their eyes filled with disbelief. Chapter 779. The saint-level gold-devouring beetle, which was known for its invincible defense, was sent flying by a single punch? Wasn't this too much? Even though they had seen it with their own eyes, they still found it unbelievable. How could this be? Feng Hexiang muttered in a daze. If even Jin Guangyu wasn't a match for Su Chen, then who else could kill Su Chen? Could the Feng clan still get their revenge? How could he be so strong? Lu Qianqin and the other three were completely stunned, and a deep sense of fear filled their hearts. During the Crepe Myrtle Mountain selection, they clearly remembered that Su Chen was only at level 8. How could he advance to level 10 in less than a month? And how could he crush a saint-level expert? Even if a saint-level expert's cultivation was suppressed, it was still not something an ordinary level 10 cultivator could compare to. Bang! Jin Guangyu shattered the building on top of him and flew back to his original spot. Su Chen's punch wasn't enough to hurt him, but it was enough to embarrass him. His face was flushed red. How can you be so strong? Jin Guangyu stared at Su Chen and suddenly roared. What does it have to do with you whether I'm strong or not? Do you think a piece of trash like you has the right to ask? Su Chen sneered. You're courting death. Jin Guangyu's face turned pale as he gritted his teeth and charged at Su Chen again. He didn't believe that he couldn't defeat a human with his invincible defense. Feng Hexiang saw Jin Guangyu attack again and shouted, Let's attack together and kill Su Chen. Su Chen's speed of growth was too shocking, and it made him wary. If he didn't take this opportunity to kill Su Chen, it would be a big problem sooner or later. Lu Qianqin and the other three were also aware of this, so they attacked Su Chen together without hesitation. Senior, you two stop Wind Crane Xiang. Su Chen said to Wu Yazi and Li Kueyang. Then, he opened the pet breeding space and summoned the steel willow, the flaming phoenix, and the gold-devouring beetles. He ordered them to deal with Lu Qianqin and the other three with Yuqi Jingyang. The gold-devouring beetles and the other two spirit pets had already advanced to level 9. Although they were one level lower than Lu Qianqin and the other three, their true combat strength was far superior to those of the same level. There wouldn't be the slightest problem. Die! Taking advantage of the time when Su Chen summoned his spiritual pet, Jin Guangyu had already come close and smashed a huge fist at Su Chen. Su Chen did not dodge, and the corners of his mouth even revealed a trace of disdain. With the ancient god-fiend body, he could ignore all attacks of the same level. Although Jin Guangyu was a saint, he was only at level 10 in this place. He would not be able to harm him at all. There was a muffled bang. In the next moment, Jin Guangyu's powerful punch landed heavily on Su Chen's chest, but it only made Su Chen sway slightly. On the other hand, Jin Guangyu retreated a few steps under the effect of the recoil. Witnessing this strange scene, Wind Crane Xiang and the others stopped in their tracks and looked at Su Chen as if they had seen a ghost. How strong is Su Chen's physical body? Even Jin Guangyu's violent punch was ignored? Doesn't this mean that Su Chen is an existence that can't be killed at all? Then there's no point in fighting this battle. Wind Crane Xiang and the others did not make a move, but Su Chen did not want to let them go. Senior, stop them, don't let them run away. Su Chen reminded and instantly rushed in front of Jin Guangyu. Chapter 780. Facing Su Chen, who was so strong and had such a strong defense, Jin Guangyu instinctively felt fear. He could not help but retreat. However, as he was retreating, he suddenly felt an invisible force wrap around him. He immediately lost his ability to move. Mind power. Jin Guangyu was shocked. He would not be afraid of normal mind power, even if it was at level 10. However, the mind power that Su Chen released was far beyond level 10. It was not something that he could fight against at his current level. On the other side, Su Chen controlled Jin Guangyu and used his killer move. He held the Chaos Skysplitter sword in his hand and slashed down. There was a violent tremor in the void. A black vortex about 10 feet wide appeared above Jin Guangyu's head. The black vortex slowly descended, and an extremely terrifying spatial force swept out. Spatial divine item. Jin Guangyu exclaimed in shock. His entire body shot out tens of thousands of rays of golden light. Crack, crack, crack. Accompanied by the crisp sound of bones, he revealed his true form. He turned into a gold-devouring bug that was 10 feet wide. At the same time, an overwhelming pressure spread out. Under the impact of this pressure, the entire hall let out a trembling sound. Wu Yazi and the others, who were still fighting, stopped and watched. At this moment, the black vortex landed on Jin Guangyu's huge body. Instantly, there was a grinding sound that made one's teeth ache. After a few breaths, the black vortex dissipated. There were small cracks on half of Jin Guangyu's body, and golden liquid was flowing out. He looked a little battered, but his aura was still powerful. This meant that Su Chen's sword did not cause any substantial damage to Jin Guangyu. What a strong defense! Seeing this, Su Chen clicked his tongue. Ha ha! Jin Guangyu laughed wildly. He stared coldly at Su Chen and said sarcastically, "So what if you have a divine item? Can you break through my defense? You want to kill me? You're delusional." After blocking Su Chen's powerful blow, his confidence was greatly boosted, and the panic he felt earlier also disappeared. None of the people I want to kill can survive. As Su Chen's eyes gradually narrowed, he quickly opened the pet-raising space, and summoned the bone-chill netherfire. At the same time, he raised his hand and swept out with his blade. Suddenly, a white torrent that exuded a terrifying chill swept towards Jin Guangyu. Under Su Chen's instructions, the bone-chill netherworld fire jumped and attached itself to the white torrent, causing the originally extremely terrifying icy intent to become even stronger. In an instant, the entire hall seemed to have fallen into a glacier, and the surrounding temperature plummeted. How can there be such a terrifying ice element technique? Feng Hexiang and the others began to tremble. Their hearts were filled with fear. He could even imagine that once he was hit by the white torrent, he would definitely be frozen and become a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. Jin Guangyu was also shocked. Although he claimed that his defense was invincible, he didn't have the slightest confidence that he would be able to withstand such a terrifying ice-type spell technique. Therefore, when the white torrent swept over, he turned around and fled. Su Chen was already prepared for Jin Guangyu to escape, so he immediately released his mental power to bind him. Jin Guangyu revealed his true form, and his strength increased by many times. Su Chen's mental power could no longer bind him. However, it would still take some time for him to break free. With a slight delay, the white torrent had already hit his body and frozen him in the blink of an eye. Chapter 781. Su Chen knew that he would not be able to kill Jin Guangyu with just one ice spell. Therefore, after using the combined 5 extremes mountain to suppress Jin Guangyu, he turned to Feng Hexiang. His plan was simple. He would kill the others first and then deal with Jin Guangyu later. On the other side, when Feng Hexiang saw that Jin Guangyu was sealed in ice, he decided to retreat. However, Wu Yazi and Li Kueyang tried to stop him, so he could not escape. However, at this moment, Su Chen approached him and punched him from afar. This punch was soundless and did not carry the slightest murderous aura. It seemed ordinary. However, no one expected Feng Hexiang to be stunned when he was locked on by the punch. It was as if he had fallen into a dream. The punch that Su Chen used was the Intent Realm magical ability, Drunken Life, that he had just redeemed. It could make the opponent fall into a temporary state of confusion. While Feng Hexiang was in a daze, Su Chen rushed forward and smashed his golden fist on Feng Hexiang's head. Feng Hexiang did not have a strong defense like Jin Guangyu. Furthermore, he was caught off guard. His entire head was smashed into pieces, and he died on the spot. Feng Hexiang was dead. The sage-level ancestor of the Feng family was killed by a punch? Seeing Feng Hexiang's headless body on the ground, Lu Qianqin and the other 3 were scared out of their wits. Their breathing was almost stopped. The 4 of them looked at each other and ran away in tacit understanding. Now that Feng Hexiang was dead and Jin Guangyu was trapped, Su Chen's next target would definitely be them. If they did not run, they would definitely lose their lives here. Let's go together. Leave no one alive. Su Chen roared and rushed towards Lu Qianqin like an arrow. Wu Yazi and the other 2, as well as the 3 spirit pets, chased after the others. Once Su Chen ran at full speed, no one on the continent could compete with him. He caught up with Lu Qianqin in a few breaths' time and released his mental power to bind her tightly. Lu Qianqin was only at level 10, and she was very ordinary among those at level 10. How could she be a match for Su Chen? Seeing Su Chen walking toward her like a killing god, Lu Qianqin begged loudly, "Su Chen, spare my life. The entire ice palace will submit to you. How can trash like you be my follower?" Su Chen snorted and killed Lu Qianqin with a punch. Then, he turned to look at Wu Yazi and the others. Wu Yazi's trio and their 3 spirit pets had already surrounded Lei Zhentian's group and were trying to kill them. Su Chen originally wanted to go forward to help, but he suddenly heard Bone Chill Netherworld Fire's urgent cry. "Master, this guy is to break free." Su Chen's expression froze as he quickly looked at Jin Guangyu. He saw that Jin Guangyu had already broken most of the ice on his body, and was trying to climb out of the combined Yuan 5 Poles mountain. "You still want to escape?" Su Chen smiled contemptuously. He dashed over and stepped on Jin Guangyu's huge head. Crack! Jin Guangyu's head was heavily stomped into the ground, causing cracks to appear all around. Then, he continuously released the frost spell and the wood elemental entanglement spell, binding Jin Guangyu again. How can I kill this guy? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and pondered. As a saint-level gold devouring beetle, Golden Light Guard's body was comparable to a top-grade defensive sacred artifact. Even the most powerful chaotic Skysplitter sword could not kill it. This put him in a difficult position. Chapter 782. Although it was difficult, he had to kill Jin Guangyu. Su Chen pondered for a moment, opened the pet raising space, and communicated with the Flaming Phoenix. "Flaming, Jin Guangyu's defense is too strong. Is there any way to kill him quickly?" The Flaming Phoenix was also a member of the Sacred Demon Tribe, so it should know something about Jin Guangyu. Perhaps it knew his weakness. The Flaming Phoenix thought for a moment and replied, "Master, as long as you can break his defense, you can let the big mosquito suck his blood, and then let the big bug devour him." Hearing this, Su Chen's eyes lit up. The super-devouring ancient gorilla mosquito had a divine ability called Devouring the Heavens and Bloodthirsty, which came in handy at this time. Once Jin Guangyu's blood essence was sucked dry, even if he didn't die, his strength would drop to the freezing point. If the gold-devouring beetles devoured him, They might even level up. Thinking of this, just as Su Chen was about to make a move, Jin Guangyu suddenly spoke. Su Chen, you can't kill me. Stop now, and I'll pretend that nothing happened. Su Chen snorted and suddenly activated the 10,000 lights 10 shadows killing technique. Suddenly, the 11 Su Chens joined forces to attack. For a moment, spells intertwined, and divine artifacts fell from the sky. Like a stormy sea, a terrifying wave was set off. What kind of divine ability is this? Jin Guangyu cried out in shock. At this moment, he clearly felt the aura of death, and his whole body trembled. Boom! Accompanied by an earth-shattering bang. The attacks of the 11 Su Chen all landed on Jin Guangyu's back. No matter how strong Jin Guangyu's physical defense was, he couldn't withstand it. A huge crack suddenly appeared on his back, and golden liquid gurgled out of the crack. Su Chen seized the opportunity and let go of the super-devouring ancient gorilla mosquito. He ordered, "Little gold, suck his blood dry." Yes, master. The super-devouring ancient gorilla mosquito was very excited and directly used its divine ability, devouring the heavens and bloodthirsty. The golden blood in Jin Guangyu's body gushed into the super-ancient devouring Vajra mosquito's mouth like a whale sucking in water. Although the super-ancient devouring adamantine mosquito was only the size of a fist, its stomach was like a bottomless pit. No matter how much it sucked, it could not be filled. Moreover, the speed of absorption was very fast. In just a few breaths, Jin Guangyu's huge body appeared to be in a shriveled state, as if it had shrunk. As the blood essence in his body continued to decrease, Jin Guangyu howled in pain and loudly begged Su Chen for mercy. "Su Chen, spare my life. I'm willing to be your spiritual pet." In the face of death, even saint-level existences would lower their proud heads. Su Chen said sarcastically, "I gave you a chance before, but you didn't seize it. Now you want to be my spiritual pet? Too late." If Jin Guangyu had agreed to be his spiritual pet at the beginning, he would have agreed. After all, having a saint stage gold devouring beetle as a spiritual pet would definitely greatly improve his strength. However, after fighting with Golden Light Yu, he was already furious and had the intention to kill. Once the killing intent was ignited, it would be extremely difficult to restrain it. Therefore, Jin Guangyu must die. Su Chen, you will die a horrible death. Our sacred demon tribe will not let you go. Knowing that Su Chen did not intend to let him go, Jin Guangyu cursed loudly. Su Chen was unmoved and looked on coldly. When Jin Guangyu's body shrank to only 1/3 of its original size, Su Chen ordered the super-ancient devouring Vajra mosquito to stop sucking blood. If it continued to suck, Jin Guangyu would definitely die, and the super-ancient devouring Vajra mosquito would not be able to advance. It was better to let the gold-devouring beetles devour him. Chapter 783. The super-devouring ancient adamantine mosquito burped, looking as if it still wanted more. However, since Su Chen had given the order, it had no choice but to obey. "Su Chen, give me another chance. I have many secrets that I can tell you." Jin Guangyu panted heavily, begging Su Chen for mercy again. After having a large amount of blood essence devoured, its aura was very chaotic, and its cultivation was not as good as before. At most it was only level 8. Su Chen glanced at it coldly, and the corner of his mouth twitched. "I don't care." With that, he slashed down with the primal chaos skysplitter sword. There was a loud boom. Jin Guangyu, whose cultivation was greatly reduced, had a much weaker defense. His entire head was instantly split into pieces, and he died on the spot. Instantly, tens of thousands of colorful shards appeared on his corpse. Seeing this, Su Chen's mouth couldn't help but curl up. Then, he activated the automatic pickup function and collected all the fragments. At this time, Wu Yazi and the 3 spiritual pets came to Su Chen's side. Jin Ganglu reported to Su Chen, "Master, those 3 people have been killed." Su Chen nodded slightly, then said to the gold-devouring bug, "Little bug, I'll leave Jin Guangyu's body to you." "Thank you, master." The gold-devouring bug was pleasantly surprised. Jin Guangyu was a saint-level gold-devouring bug. As long as it devoured him, it had a high chance of reaching level 10. After a while, Su Chen stored Jin Guangyu's body and the spiritual pets in the pet breeding space. "Su Chen, Are Sect Master Shang and the others okay? Yuqi Jingyang asked. Don't worry, they're all in the primal chaos space. Su Chen laughed, then opened the primal chaos space and called Shang Caili and Wu Yazi out. Su Chen, where's Feng Hexiang? Shang Caili asked worriedly as soon as she appeared. I've already killed him, Su Chen said lightly. Kill him? Feng Hexiang was a saint-level existence. Even if his cultivation was suppressed, he was still much stronger than the average level 10 cultivator. How could Su Chen kill him? Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan were a little confused as they looked at Su Chen in a daze. Yuqi Jingyang reminded, it's not just Feng Hexiang. Even the sacred demon tribe's gold-devouring beetles died at the hands of Su Chen. What? Shang Caili and Nan Lichuan opened their mouths wide, their faces filled with inexplicable horror. It was rumored that the sacred demon race's sacred rank gold-devouring beetles had terrifying defensive capabilities. They were practically invincible within the same rank. Such a terrifying expert had actually died in the hands of Su Chen. From this, one could see how powerful Su Chen was now. Su Chen, I heard that you've reached level 10? Nan Lichuan came back to his senses and asked. When they were in the chaos space, they heard from Chen Feng and the others that Su Chen had reached level 10. At first, they didn't believe it. Chapter 784. Shang Caili sighed faintly. Our Sun Moon Star Palace and Flowing Water Sect no longer exist. After the incident at Crepe Myrtle Mountain, the other major forces had joined forces to besiege the Sun Moon Star Palace and Flowing Water Sect. Almost all the disciples were killed, and the two of them were captured by Feng Hexiang. Fortunately, Gu Tianhua and the other genius disciples of the younger generation were by Su Chen's side. As long as they were around, the Sun Moon Star Palace could regroup. Su Chen's face was gloomy. He could imagine that the Flowing Water Sect and Sun Moon Star Palace were most likely implicated by him. After taking a deep breath, he asked, Sect leader, other than Feng Hexiang and the few major forces from Forgotten Autumn Mountain, was there anyone else who destroyed the Sun Moon Star Palace? Once it was confirmed that someone else was involved, no matter which force it was, he would uproot them. The Sacred Empire, Barbarian Shrine, and even the Sanctuary sent people over, Shang Caili said through gritted teeth. A sharp look suddenly appeared in Su Chen's eyes. The four major forces of the mysterious heavenly continent, including the Sanctuary, were involved. It was obvious that they wanted to kill him. Since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish. Su Chen clenched his fists, exuding a strong murderous aura all over his body. Shang Caili knew that Su Chen had the intention to kill, so she hurriedly advised, Su Chen, take your time to plan your revenge. Don't be rash. Su Chen did not care. With his current strength, he was invincible in the mysterious heavenly continent. If God or Buddha stood in his way, he would kill Buddha. He would kill anyone who disobeyed him. It was impossible for him to take his time and take his revenge. From today onwards, he would stir up a storm of blood in the mysterious heavenly continent. Those who wanted to kill him, he would not let any of them go. No one could stop him. Not even a sage. Su Chen made up his mind. Suddenly, he remembered something very important and asked, Sect leader, how did the sacred demon tribe enter the mysterious heavenly continent? Although the mutated tribes could enter the mysterious heavenly continent, there was a level restriction. The highest level they could enter was level 8. Jianghu was already a saint, so how did he enter? It's very likely that they entered through the sacred gate, Shang Caili said with a solemn expression. The sacred gate? Su Chen muttered and looked at Shang Caili, waiting for her explanation. The Saint Realm is the place where the Saint Realm experts live. The Saint Realm door is a door that connects the Saint Realm and the mysterious heavenly continent. If the Saint Realm experts want to enter the mysterious heavenly continent, they must go through this door, Shang Caili explained. Su Chen was puzzled and asked, then how did Jin Guangyu pass through the gate? Since the sacred region was the territory of human sages, how could they allow outsiders to enter as they pleased? That's what I'm worried about. Shang Caili sighed and said, no matter if it's a saint level, 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 saint level. Saint level, 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 saint level. Furthermore, only those with more than 80% of the votes can enter the mysterious heavenly mainland. Hearing this, the expressions of Wu Yizi and the others became extremely unsightly. Su Chen's expression turned serious as well. Since Feng Hexiang and Jin Guangyu could appear here, it meant that they had more than 80% of the Saint Realm's support. In other words, more than 80% of the human sages wanted him dead. What was more hateful was that these sages had joined forces with the mutated tribes to deal with him. Su Chen narrowed his eyes as a cold light flashed in his eyes. Then, he took out the intelligent war chariot and asked everyone to get in. Chapter 785. Satoshi, head to the Holy Empire. Su Chen ordered as soon as he got into the car. The intelligent war chariot locked onto the Holy Empire, activated its flight function, and flew away from Jianghu City. Su Chen, why are we going to the Holy Empire? Xianxia asked worriedly. In her opinion, they were now in the teeth of the storm. Since the sages of the human race had made up their minds to kill Su Chen, they would definitely continue to send experts to find them. If they were to head to the Holy Empire with such fanfare, it would be easy to expose their whereabouts and attract the experts to surround them. Su Chen did not hide anything and said bluntly, I won't let any of those forces who participated in the destruction of the Sun Moon Star Palace go. I'll start with the Holy Empire. In fact, other than revenge, he had another purpose, which was to find the whereabouts of the Tree of Life. The Holy Empire's monarch, Li Shang, had once obtained a large branch from the Tree of Life. If he followed the vine to the melon, there was a high chance that he would find the Tree of Life. Xianxia and the others' faces changed when they heard this. Su Chen was determined to take revenge. There would definitely be endless battles later. The experts sent by the other party were definitely above level 10. There might even be sages among them. It could even be said that Su Chen was going to fight against the entire human race on his own. When that time came, would Su Chen still be a match for him? Wu Yazi thought for a moment and said slowly, Don't worry, everyone. With Su Chen's current strength, there won't be any opponents on the continent. Even if there are too many experts, we can just leave the mysterious heavenly mainland. They can't do anything to us. He had witnessed Su Chen's strength with his own eyes. He had faced thousands of experts in the abandoned land and was unstoppable. He was still an existence that could do whatever he wanted on the continent. Even the sage-level gold-devouring beetle, which was known to have an invincible physical body, had fallen in the hands of Su Chen. There were not many experts who could pose a threat to Su Chen. Even if there were, it would not matter. The intelligent war chariot had activated the function of traversing between realms and could enter other realms at any time. It could advance and retreat at will. Therefore, he was fully supportive of Su Chen's plan to stir up trouble in the mysterious heavenly mainland. He was not worried. Hearing this, Xianxia and the others breathed a sigh of relief. They already knew Wu Yazi's identity. Not only was Wu Yazi a famous master artificer, but he was also once a saint stage existence. Since such an expert had confidence in Su Chen, they didn't have much to worry about. Behind them, the intelligent war chariot flew straight towards the Holy Empire. Since they were flying, they weren't obstructed at all. About 10 days later, the intelligent war chariot flew above Kuxing City, the capital of the Holy Empire. At this point, Su Chen was not in a hurry to make a move. Instead, he communicated with the intelligent war chariot. Satoshi, search for the experts of Kuxing City. A long time ago, he had heard from an elder of the Manyu Shrine that the strongest person in the Manyu Shrine was Li Shang, a level 9 Dharma psychic. In his eyes, a level 9 magic psychic was like an ant that he could destroy with a single hand. However, the current situation was different from before. The human saint level wanted to kill him, and Kuxingqing might have a large number of powerful warriors hidden in the city. It was better to be careful. Master, the strongest person is only a level 9 Dharma psychic. There are also some level 8 cultivators. The intelligent war chariot searched for a while and quickly replied. Looks like the other party is unprepared. Su Chen muttered. Then he ordered the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, lock onto the level 9 Dharma psychic's location and go find him. Chapter 786. Yes. The intelligent war chariot received the order and slowly landed in a magnificent building. There were a large number of armored guards gathered around the building. When they noticed an aircraft landing, they all gathered around with their weapons and surrounded the intelligent war chariot. "I'll go down and take a look." Su Chen opened the door and got out alone. "Who are you? How dare you trespass on an important place? Do you know where this is?" A rough-looking guard looked at Su Chen vigilantly and questioned him. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced around. Without saying anything, he released his spiritual energy and bound the guard in front of him. Advanced Spirit Reader. When the other guards saw this, their expressions changed. The rough-looking guard was their captain and also a level 7 evolver. However, in front of this young man, he had no resistance. It was obvious that this young man must be a spirit reader above level 8. "Tell Li Shang to get out here." Su Chen narrowed his eyes and roared. A huge pressure was released, causing the group of guards to continuously retreat. "How dare you? Where did this arrogant person come from? How dare you behave so atrociously here?" All of a sudden, an angry roar came from afar. Then, a thin and weak old man rushed over in an aggressive manner. "Let him go." When he saw Su Chen choking the guard captain's neck, his face turned cold and he shouted coldly, "As you wish." Su Chen curled his lips and broke the guard captain's neck. Then, he threw him at the feet of the thin old man. "You've gone too far." The thin old man stomped his feet and flew toward Su Chen. He raised his hand and punched, vowing to kill Su Chen with one punch. A level 8 evolver is like an ant. Su Chen smiled contemptuously. Judging from the other party's aura, he was only a level 8 cultivator. Daring to kill him with this level of cultivation was like hitting a stone with an egg. Just as the thin old man rushed in front of him, Su Chen controlled his spiritual energy and swept it forward. There was a loud bang. Under the pressure of the invisible force, the skinny old man was directly turned into a cloud of blood mist. Not even his bones were left behind. Hiss! Seeing this scene, the sound of cold air being sucked in could be heard from all around. All the guards looked at Su Chen in shock, and couldn't help but step back again. The skinny old man was a true level 8 cultivator, but he was easily killed without even being able to cause a ripple. It could be seen how terrifying Su Chen was. "Who are you? Why did you kill indiscriminately in my residence?" However, at this moment, more than 10 men walked out of a building opposite them. The person in the lead had a dignified appearance, with a dignified aura of a superior. As soon as this person appeared, he berated Su Chen. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said coolly, "You're Li Shang, right? How dare you?" When the others heard that Su Chen dared to call out the dignified man's name, they were instantly enraged and attacked Su Chen together. Their cultivation was not weak, and they were all level 8 cultivators and above. Moreover, they cooperated with each other quite well. A few magic psychics worked together to cast spells, while the rest of the evolvers charged straight at Su Chen. Looking at their posture, they wanted to take down Su Chen in the shortest time possible. Li Shang did not make a move, but a cruel smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. In his opinion, with so many experts working together, Su Chen would not be able to survive even if he had heaven-defying means. However, the scene that appeared in the next moment completely stunned him. He saw that the spells flying at Su Chen were strangely bounced off when they came into contact with Su Chen. Not only did they not hurt Su Chen, but they also killed many of the guards around him. Chapter 787. How could this be? Li Shang murmured. He could not recover from the shock for a long time. The few Dharma psychics who were casting spells at the side were also dumbfounded. The fact that Su Chen could ignore the spell attacks was too incredible, and it made them feel a deep sense of fear. The evolver who was rushing towards Su Chen also stopped at this moment. He looked at Su Chen in surprise, and for a moment, he was caught in a dilemma. A bunch of trash. Su Chen snorted coldly. He raised his hand and shot out a wind blade. Crack! With a crisp shattering sound, these evolvers were all cut into a pile of minced meat. Their deaths were very tragic. A level 10 Dharma psychic. Li Shang exclaimed. He almost wet his pants in fright. As a level 9 Dharma psychic, the moment Su Chen shot out the wind blade, He felt a terrifying wind energy fluctuation. It was definitely far beyond level 9. Thus, he confirmed Su Chen's identity as a level 10 Dharma psychic. The other Dharma psychics were also uneasy. Facing a powerful existence like Su Chen who could ignore spell attacks, they were all at a loss. They did not know what to do. "Senior, I am Li Sheng. May I know how I have offended you?" Li Sheng recovered from his fright. He thought about it and asked Su Chen respectfully. "The crimes you have committed are punishable by death." Su Chen's voice was as cold as ice. He snorted coldly and released his spiritual power to kill all the Dharma psychics around Li Sheng. "You!" Li Sheng was shocked and furious as he watched his subordinates die in front of him. However, he did not have the courage to question Su Chen. Su Chen controlled his spiritual power to bind Li Sheng. He pulled him closer and pressed him under his feet. He said coldly, "The Sacred Empire was also involved in the destruction of the Sun-Moon Star Palace, right?" "Destruction of the Sun-Moon Star Palace?" Li Sheng muttered. He suddenly thought of something and looked at Su Chen in horror. He said in a trembling voice, "You are. I am Su Chen." Su Chen's lips curled into a cold smile. Gulp. Li Sheng swallowed a mouthful of saliva as his body trembled uncontrollably. Su Chen's name resounded like thunder in his ears. Of course he had heard of him. Rumor had it that Su Chen was unscrupulous in his actions. He would kill without saying a word. He was simply a heinous demon. In total, more than 1,000 experts had died at his hands. Not only were there top powerhouses from the mysterious heavenly continent, but there were also many genius disciples from the 5 superclans who had died in Su Chen's hands. Wherever Su Chen went, he would set off a reign of terror. Anyone who offended him would not be able to survive. After learning of Su Chen's true identity, Li Sheng's heart skipped a beat. Even his breathing became abnormally heavy. "Senior, we were forced to participate in the destruction of the Sun-Moon Star Palace. It was the request of those sage-level powerhouses. Moreover, the strength of our sacred empire is limited. Even if we participated, we would only be going through the motions. In fact, we would only be there for show." Li Sheng saw the unfriendly look in Su Chen's eyes. He was afraid that he would be killed on the spot, so he quickly explained. Su Chen snorted softly and asked, "I heard that you obtained a branch with vitality a few years ago. Where did you get it?" "A branch with vitality?" Li Sheng tried hard to recall and said, "Senior, if I tell you the truth, can you spare my life?" Crack. As soon as Li Sheng's voice fell, Su Chen broke his arm with a stomp. Su Chen hated it the most when others bargained with him, especially when they were not qualified to do so. Since Li Sheng did not know what was good for him, he could only teach him a lesson. Chapter 788. Ah! Li Sheng screamed. "Our holy empire has 2 saint-level ancestors in the Holy Realm. If you kill me, they won't let you go." At this point, Li Sheng still wanted to threaten Su Chen with a saint level. This was a taboo for Su Chen. "I even dared to kill Wind Crane Xiang and the saint-level gold devouring beetle. Your holy empire's saint level is nothing." Su Chen snorted. He lifted his foot and stomped Li Sheng's other arm into meat paste. The intense pain almost made Li Sheng faint. When he regained his strength, his heart was beating violently. Su Chen could even kill a saint level? And a saint-level gold-devouring beetle? The fear in Li Sheng's heart reached its peak. He hurriedly said, "Senior, give me a chance." Su Chen's face was cold as he scolded, "Tell me where you got the Tree of Life. Otherwise, I'll make you beg for death." Li Sheng trembled. After struggling for a while, he gritted his teeth and said, "I got it in a secret realm on Green Cloud Island." Green Cloud Island? A secret realm? Su Chen pondered and continued to ask, "Where exactly is it on Green Cloud Island?" He had seen Green Cloud Island on the mysterious heavenly continent topographic map. It was a huge island, at least 20 times the size of Jianghu Island. If he couldn't determine the exact location, it would take a lot of time to find that secret realm. Li Sheng didn't dare to hesitate and said truthfully, "It's in the Yunluo Mountains of Green Cloud Island." Su Chen nodded slightly and asked, "Does the Holy Empire have any level 9 energy stones?" The intelligent chariot and mechanical soldier had both been upgraded to level 8. The next step was to advance to level 9. Finding level 9 energy stones was the key. No. Li Shang shook his head and said bluntly. Since you don't have any, you can die. Su Chen didn't show any mercy. He punched Li Shang and blasted him to death. Then, he returned to the intelligent chariot. Sect Master, have you heard of Green Cloud Island? Back in the car, Su Chen immediately asked Xianxia Li. Since he knew that the Tree of Life came from Green Cloud Island, he had to make a trip there. However, he knew very little about Clear Cloud Island and wanted to understand the situation of Clear Cloud Island through Xianxia Li and the others. Hearing the name Green Cloud Island, Xianxia Li's expression became serious and she said, Green Cloud Island is the #1 island in the Grand Mysterious Heaven Outer Zone. This #1 doesn't refer to its size but its strength. Although Qingyun Island is only an island, its overall strength is very strong. It has more than a dozen powerful sects and experts. Almost every sect has a saint-level ancestor. So strong. Su Chen couldn't help but click his tongue. Not to mention other things, just the dozen or so saint-level ancestors on Clear Cloud Island were enough to attract his attention. Su Chen, are you going to Green Cloud Island? Nan Lichuan asked worriedly. With Su Chen's style of doing things, once he entered Clear Cloud Island, he might set off a bloody storm. Nan Lichuan was very worried. I'll definitely go to Clear Cloud Island, but not now. Su Chen nodded. He had to eliminate the forces that participated in the destruction of the Sun Moon Star Palace before he could go to Clear Cloud Island. His next target was the Holy Temple of the Wild. Xianxia Li and the others looked at each other and sighed. Since Su Chen had made up his mind, no one could persuade him otherwise. They only hoped that the people of Clear Cloud Island would open their eyes and not provoke Su Chen. Otherwise, it was very likely that their sects would be destroyed. Chapter 789. Satoshi. Head to the Temple of the Wild. Su Chen instructed and then asked Xianxia Li, Sect Master, what forces are in the Temple of the Wild? In addition to the Temple of the Wild, there are several large families, Xianxia Li said bluntly. Did these forces participate in the destruction of the Sun, Moon, and Star Palace? Su Chen asked. He was not a bloodthirsty person, and he would not casually slaughter those who did not participate in it. Only the Temple of the Wild and the Ling family participated, Xianxia Li said truthfully. The Ling family? Su Chen muttered and a cold light shot out of his eyes. He had heard from Xianxia Li that the Ling family was also a large family in the Temple of the Wild and had a sage-level ancestor. Lu Yan's daughter, Lu Kaifeng, had married into the Lu family. And Lu Yan had died in his hands. Su Chen could imagine that the Ling family must have participated in this for revenge. After a while, Su Chen sat back in the driver's seat and opened the planting space to check the growth progress of various spiritual plants. Xianxia Li and the others also found a place to rest. Behind them, the intelligent war chariot sped straight to the Temple of the Wild. It was very smooth and did not encounter any obstacles along the way. This made Su Chen feel very strange. Since the human clan's sage-level experts were determined to kill him, shouldn't they send a large number of experts to kill him? Why did they let him be so carefree? Could it be that they were so scared that they did not dare to send anyone after knowing that Feng Hexiang and Jin Guangyu had been killed? Su Chen felt that this was possible, but the possibility was not too high. After all, he had not offended ordinary people, but the human clan's sage-level experts. If those sage-level experts gave up just like that, where would their dignity be? Could it be that they were plotting something? Giving a fatal blow at the critical moment? The sage-level experts had lived for countless years and were all shrewd and astute. Su Chen felt that this was more likely. However, he did not take it to heart. He would deal with whatever came his way. As long as he was on the mainland, there was nothing to be afraid of no matter how many people came. 10 days later, the intelligent war chariot entered the barbarian Holy Temple area. According to the original plan, the first target to be eliminated was the various temples. However, what was surprising was that when the intelligent war chariot arrived at the All Gods Temple, it was already empty. There were only a few low-level cultivators left. Su Chen interrogated them and found out that the experts of the various temples had all left this place a few days ago. There was no trace of them at all. It was as if they knew that Su Chen was coming to kill them, so they hid in advance. Su Chen missed and was very depressed in his heart. Other than not being able to kill the experts of the various temples, they didn't find a single wind spiritual stone. In order to vent his anger, he destroyed more than half of the Temple of All Gods before he left. After leaving the Temple of All Gods, the intelligent war chariot rushed to the Ling family. However, just like the various temples, the Ling family's experts had long since fled. Su Chen, where are we going next? Xianxia Li asked. Su Chen thought for a moment and said, let's go to Qingyun Island. The four major forces of the mysterious heavenly mainland, the Wenxi dynasty and the Holy Empire, had been completely destroyed by him. The few major forces of the Forgotten Autumn Mountain basically existed in name only. Other than the barbarian Holy Temple, the other two major forces had fled. They had basically achieved their goal of revenge. There was no point in continuing to stay in the mysterious heavenly mainland. Hearing this, Xianxia Li did not say anything else. Going to Qingyun Island was Su Chen's decision. He had to go there sooner or later. Chapter 790. The intelligent war chariot locked onto Qingyun Island and sped towards it. Along the way, Su Chen opened the pet-raising space. Did the gold-devouring beetle advance to level 10 after devouring Jing Guangyu's corpse? That was what he was concerned about. The moment he opened the pet-raising space, he felt a violent aura. This aura came from the gold-devouring beetles. Little beetle, you've advanced? Su Chen was excited. The gold-devouring beetle was already very strong. Once it advanced to level 10, it would definitely be a great help to him. Its strength was even stronger than Wu Yazi, who had his cultivation suppressed. Master, I've advanced. The gold-devouring beetle shouted excitedly. After advancing to level 10, it actually grew wings and was flying up and down in the space. The flaming phoenix and the other spiritual pets stayed far away from it. They had no choice. The gold-devouring beetle's body was too strong. Once it touched it, it would not be a joke. It might even break their bones. Okay. Su Chen nodded and the corner of his mouth could not help but curl up. After that, he chatted with the spiritual pets for a while and closed the pet-raising space. The intelligent war chariot left the mysterious heavenly mainland and entered a boundless sea. Su Chen had nothing to do, so his gaze fell on the central control screen. Due to the distance from Qingyun Island, it would take more than 10 days. If he encountered a large group of sea monsters during this period, he could kill them and get some fragments. Soon, Su Chen saw a huge black on the central control screen. There were more than 10 smaller black and blue dots gathered around the black dot. Mutated tribes and humans? Su Chen raised his eyebrows and ordered the intelligent war chariot, Satoshi, lock onto them and zoom in on the image. Yes. The intelligent war chariot locked onto them and quickly displayed the image on the central control screen. Su Chen took a closer look and saw a demonic beast as black as ink lying in the middle of the sea. This demonic beast was like a mollusk, giving people a feeling of softness all over. Moreover, its body was especially huge, almost the same size as some of the smaller islands. On the back of this demonic beast stood a dozen or so humans and non-humans. These foreign races were not of the same race. Su Chen had seen them before. The Night Demon race, the Flying Feather race, the Oceanic race, and the God race were all present. What are these guys trying to do? Su Chen frowned and muttered. However, at this moment, the intelligent war chariot reminded, Zhuoyan, the other party seems to have discovered us and is flying towards us. Su Chen exclaimed softly and looked at the central control screen again. Sure enough, the huge demonic beast set off stormy waves. Its swimming speed was very fast, and it was heading towards them. Could it be that they were really coming for him? Su Chen was a little uncertain. After thinking for a while, he asked Xianxia Li, Lord, do you know these humans? Xianxia Li walked forward and glanced at the central control screen. Her expression suddenly froze, and she said in a deep voice, Some of them are from the All Gods Temple and the Ling family. I don't know the rest. All Gods Temple and the Ling family? A cold smile appeared on Su Chen's lips. He was worried that he couldn't find the people from the All Gods Temple and the Ling family. He didn't expect them to take the initiative to come to him. It was a good opportunity to catch them all in one fell swoop. Satoshi, check their cultivation, Su Chen ordered. Since the other party took the initiative to find him, they must be prepared. To be cautious, it was better to understand the other party's strength. It was better to be prepared. Chapter 791. Master, that demonic beast is a saint-level demonic beast. The rest of the humans and mutated races are all level 10 cultivators, the intelligent war chariot quickly replied. So many powerful cultivators? And a saint-level demonic beast? After hearing this news, Xianxia and the others were all shocked. Even Su Chen's expression turned serious. More than 20 level 10 cultivators and a saint-level demonic beast. This lineup was enough to wipe out an entire continent. If it was someone else, they would have run away. But Su Chen wouldn't. Ever since he started cultivating, no one could scare him away. The stronger the opponent was, the more it could ignite his fighting spirit. Su Chen, what should we do? Nan Lichuan asked anxiously. The others all looked at Su Chen. Su Chen smirked and said calmly, kill as many as they come. Although the opponent had many people, the only one that could threaten him was that saint-level demonic beast. As long as he could kill that saint-level demonic beast, the other level 10 cultivators would be like ants. Hearing this, Xianxia, Nan Lichuan, and Yuqi Jingyang all gasped. On the other hand, Wu Yazi and Li Kueyang were much calmer. When they were in the abandoned land, they had faced dozens of times more powerful cultivators, but they still managed to kill almost all of them. That was why they didn't take it to heart. On the other hand, they were full of confidence in Su Chen. Su Chen, can you arrange how to deal with them? Li Kueyang asked. After all, the opponent had many people. If he didn't arrange things in advance, there might be trouble. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and said in a low voice, don't be in a hurry to show yourself. Wait for me to kill that saint-level demonic beast, then we can kill those level 10 cultivators together. Without knowing the strength of the saint-level demonic beast, if Xianxia and the others were to show themselves, they might be killed instantly. This was the best and safest way. Isn't it too risky for you to go alone? Xianxia frowned, not agreeing with Su Chen's arrangement. Su Chen smiled and said, don't worry. In the continent, the highest cultivation level is level 10, and a level 10 cultivator can't break through my defense. He had the ancient god-fiend body and was invincible among his peers. There was indeed nothing to worry about. Let's listen to Su Chen. Wu Yazi expressed his opinion. Thinking of Su Chen's terrifying strength and incomparably tough body, he didn't think that Su Chen would have any problems. Since that's the case, then we'll listen to your arrangements. However, if you encounter any danger, you must contact us immediately. Xianxia heavily exhorted. Su Chen was now the hope for the Sun Moon Star Palace to rise again. She did not want anything to happen to Su Chen. Su Chen nodded and then put Xianxia and the others into the chaos space along with the intelligent war chariot. He stood on the surface of the sea and quietly waited for the other party's arrival. A few minutes later, with a monstrous murderous aura, the saint-level sea demon beast flew to a place 100 meters away from Su Chen and stopped. At this time, the humans and aliens standing on the body of the saint-level sea demon beast were sizing up Su Chen. Su Chen glanced at them and sneered. Are you here to die? Arrogant. A human old man shouted and then laughed contemptuously. Su Chen, don't boast shamelessly. Today, even if you have the ability to reach the heavens, you can forget about escaping from our hands. Su Chen, you've killed countless of my clansmen. If you kill yourself here, I might consider leaving your corpse intact. Otherwise, I'll make sure you don't even have a corpse left. A night demon clansman shouted. Chapter 792. Su Chen rubbed his nose and said sarcastically, you two trash can only talk. I'm standing right here. Come and kill me if you can. The human elder and the night demons looked at each other, but none of them dared to make a move. A person's reputation was like a tree's shadow. Su Chen could even kill a sage-level existence. If they really went to fight with Su Chen, they might be killed instantly. Don't waste time with him. Let's do it. At this time, a member of the Sea Clan walked forward and pointed his hand forward. The seawater in front of him suddenly began to churn. The next moment, a giant hand formed from the turbulent seawater and pressed down on Su Chen's head. Child's play. Su Chen sneered and threw out a Pegasus meteor punch. Hundreds of golden fist shadows smashed down at the same time and instantly smashed the giant seawater hand into pieces. When a large amount of seawater fell from the sky, a purple light flashed under Su Chen's feet. He turned into a streak of light and charged toward the sage-level demon expert. Stop him! Seeing Su Chen descending like a god of death, the human elder was scared out of his wits and shouted loudly. Su Chen was ferocious and powerful. His strength was unparalleled. The others knew this and did not dare to let Su Chen get close to them. Immediately, a few spiritual psyche masters released various spells and bombarded Su Chen. The spiritual psyche masters, led by the man from the God clan, also released their spiritual power to crush Su Chen. In the face of such ferocious attacks, Su Chen turned a blind eye. He did not dodge and took it head-on. Is he crazy? Witnessing this scene, the group of experts opened their mouths wide in shock, unable to be any more shocked. Some even sneered, thinking that Su Chen would be seriously injured even if he did not die. Do you think you're invincible? Deh! The night demons mocked wildly. However, what happened next left everyone dumbfounded. The night demon clansman's jaws almost dropped. All of the spell techniques struck Su Chen's body, only to be repelled in a peculiar manner. As for those spiritual powers that swept over, most of them were torn apart by Su Chen's powerful physical body. Only the mental strength released by the male Protoss left a shallow scar on Su Chen's body, but it was not a big deal. Su Chen also noticed this point. He found that the spirit raceman's spiritual force contained a trace of space-cutting power. It was very likely that he had entered the void battleground and awakened some special ability that could cause him some damage. However, this bit of power was nothing more than an itch to him. A bunch of trash. Su Chen snorted coldly and continued to charge forward. Let's fight. Just as Su Chen was about to reach them, the three strange races with horns on their heads looked at each other and threw out a large silver net. At first, this large silver net was only about 10 feet in size, but when it spread out in the wind, it grew to 100 feet in size and covered Su Chen. As the distance was too close, Su Chen could not dodge in time. At the critical moment, he quickly took out the integrated 5 Extremes mountain to block in front of him. In the next moment, the large silver net covered Su Chen and the integrated 5 Extremes mountain together. Haha! Let's see how you're going to escape from our silver spirit sky net. The three strange races who had thrown themselves into the horns began to laugh wantonly, as if they were treating Su Chen like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. You want to trap me with a mere divine weapon? Su Chen sneered and controlled the integrated 5 Extremes mountain to collide with the silver spirit sky net. Chapter 793. There was a loud bang. The collision of the primordial 5 Extremes mountain was like an earthquake. The silver spirit sky-capturing net trembled violently as if it was wailing. However, although the collision was powerful, it did not destroy the silver spirit sky-capturing net. The three horned foreign beings heaved a collective sigh of relief upon seeing this. This is a good opportunity. Let's join forces and kill him. Seeing that Su Chen was really trapped, the man from the Night Demon clan was overjoyed. He held a long black sword in his hand and took the lead to attack Su Chen. The others reacted and attacked Su Chen together. Clang! The man from the Night Demon clan hacked at Su Chen's chest with his sword, but it was as if he had hacked at an iron plate. There was a sound of metal clashing. How is this possible? The man from the Night Demon clan took a few steps back with his huge sword in hand. He looked at Su Chen in horror and his head was buzzing. The others also stopped at this moment, their faces full of shock and doubt. Previously, Su Chen's ability to ignore spell techniques and spiritual power attacks had already made them feel incredulous. They did not expect that Su Chen could even ignore physical attacks. Didn't this mean that Su Chen was an existence that could not be killed? What was the point of continuing to kill? At this moment, Su Chen's eyes gradually narrowed. Then, a faint golden light appeared on his palms. Then, he grabbed the silver spirit sky-capturing net with both hands and activated the 100 times great strength technique. With a crack, a hole was torn in the silver spirit sky-capturing net. Damn it! Witnessing this scene, everyone was stunned. He could tear a divine artifact apart with his bare hands. How strong was his physique and how terrifying was his strength to do this? Was Su Chen still human? An extreme feeling of fear spread in the hearts of the experts. In the face of a terrifying existence like Su Chen, They were at a loss. They could not kill him, nor could they trap him. What method could they use to deal with Su Chen? Everyone was at a loss. Crack! Accompanied by another crisp sound, Su Chen tore open an opening once again. He was about to make his way out of the Silver Spirit Heaven capturing net. What to do? Everyone was scared to death. Once Su Chen broke free, how terrible would that be? If things went wrong, all of them might die here. Since I can't kill him, I'll just trap him until he dies. Suddenly, an aged voice reverberated in the air. The one who spoke was none other than the saint-stage demonic beast that had yet to make a move. It leaped up from the sea and opened its mouth to bite Su Chen. Su Chen was unable to escape in a short amount of time. He could only watch as a black hole came down on him. In the next moment, he felt the world spin before his eyes as if he had experienced a teleportation. When his vision gradually became clear, he was surprised to find that he was in the middle of a vast grassland. The surrounding greenery was overflowing, and a gentle breeze was blowing. A very pleasant feeling welled up in his heart. Have I been teleported to a grassland? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced at it, muttering to himself. After standing on the spot for a while, he broke all the Silver Spirit Heaven snaring net on his body. Then, he leaped into the air and looked around. He saw that the grassland below was boundless, as if it extended to the horizon. Su Chen faintly felt that something was wrong. After thinking for a while, he took out the intelligent war chariot and said, "Satoshi, explore. How big is this grassland?" "Master, the space here is very strange. I can't explore it," the intelligent war chariot immediately replied. "Can't explore it?" Su Chen frowned deeply. It was the first time that the intelligent war chariot had encountered such a situation, which made him a little worried. Chapter 794. In order to figure out where they were, Su Chen opened the chaos space and called out Wu Yazi and the others. "Where is this place?" Yuchi Jingyang exclaimed softly. They were still in the sea before. How did they come to the grassland in the blink of an eye? "Su Chen, you haven't been teleported, have you?" Wu Yazi asked with a frown. Suddenly coming from the sea to the grassland could only be done through teleportation, so he had his suspicions. "Something like that." Su Chen nodded and explained what had happened. Hearing this, Xianxia and the others looked at each other. Being swallowed by a saint-level demon beast and being teleported to another place, this was too strange. Li Kueyang pondered for a while, and his expression suddenly changed. "We should be in a dream." "What? Dream?" Everyone looked at Li Kueyang with their mouths slightly open. Li Kueyang coughed softly and explained, "A few years ago, I heard that the sea race has a saint-level demon beast, Dream E. It has a special ability, Dream Creation Space, and once swallowed into the dream, you will never be able to escape." Dream Creation Space? Were they really trapped in the dream? Everyone's expression was a little ugly. "Senior, how can we break this dream?" Su Chen asked. He didn't want to be trapped in the dream for the rest of his life, and if he wanted to leave here, he had to defeat it. From another perspective, the dream creation space can be considered an illusion, and it is constructed with mental power. If you want to break it, you have to use some extremely lethal mental power secret technique. Li Kueyang said with a solemn expression. High-level spirit readers were rare, and those who had mental power secret techniques could be counted on one hand. Among them, only Su Chen was a spirit reader. But as far as he knew, Su Chen didn't have any mental power secret techniques. In this way, they could be trapped in the dream creation space. Mental power secret technique? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and muttered, and his eyes suddenly lit up. In the Doomsday Merchant Center, there was a secret technique called Blade of Consciousness that required 5,000 energy points to exchange for. Although he wasn't sure if Blade of Divine Sense was a spiritual secret technique, judging from the name, it was most likely related to spiritual power. Given the current situation, if he didn't try, he would definitely not be able to escape. Anyway, he still had more than 10,000 energy points. Su Chen simply exchanged for a Blade of Divine Awareness. The moment the exchange was successful, the feedback was quickly transmitted to his mind. After reading it, Su Chen was overjoyed. Divine Sense Blade was indeed a spiritual force secret technique. Once it was used, Spiritual force would turn into thousands of blades that would wreak havoc in the surrounding space. It could destroy the spiritual force that enveloped the surroundings overnight. It could be said that the Blade of Divine Sense was not very effective against evolvers and spirit readers, but it was the bane of spirit readers. Especially in a situation where the difference in their spiritual powers was not too far apart, it was even easier to defeat the opponent with a single blow. Since the dream creation space was constructed with spiritual force, it shouldn't be a big problem to use the Blade of Divine Sense to destroy it. Everyone, I have a way to destroy this space, Su Chen said solemnly. Really? Everyone was pleasantly surprised and looked at Su Chen. Ever since they met Su Chen, they knew that Su Chen was a person who created miracles time and time again. Could it continue this time? Everyone was looking forward to it. Su Chen nodded and said, when the dream is broken, there will be a big battle. Everyone should be prepared. Chapter 795. As soon as he finished speaking, Su Chen flew into the air and released the Divine Sense Blade. Instantly, thousands of invisible blades shot out in all directions. Wherever they passed, ripples appeared in the void and there was a faint sound of something shattering. As the sound of something shattering increased, the entire void showed signs of collapsing. The grassland on the ground seemed to be affected and was disappearing in large patches. Seeing this, Wuxia and the others were extremely excited. For the dream realm to appear in such a situation, it meant that it was about to be destroyed. I have never admired anyone in my life. Su Chen is the first. Jianghu sighed with emotion. If you admire him so much, you might as well join the Sun-Moon Star Palace. After all, Su Chen will be the head of the Sun-Moon Star Palace sooner or later. Xianxia laughed softly. Jianghu pinched his chin and muttered, I can consider it. The flowing water sect had already been destroyed. To rebuild it would be as difficult as ascending to the heavens. If he joined the Sun-Moon Star Palace and followed Su Chen, he would have a great chance of creating a glorious future. Are you really interested? Xianxia opened her mouth slightly. Originally, she was just joking. She didn't think that Jianghu would really want to join the Sun-Moon Star Palace. After all, Jianghu was a rank 10 cultivator. If he joined the Sun-Moon Star Palace, he would be like a tiger that had grown wings. Moreover, she could guess that the reason why Jianghu had such an idea was definitely because of Su Chen's charm. At the same time, in the sea region, there was a wave of compliments. So what if Su Chen couldn't be killed? Didn't Senior Meng Yi still swallow him? Senior Meng Yi's dream creation ability is superb. She is indeed the #1 sacred beast of the sea race. This time, it is all thanks to Senior Meng Yi's efforts that we were able to turn the tide. Otherwise we would have all died. Just as the group of experts was praising her, Meng Yi's eyes revealed an extremely painful expression. The sea race expert noticed this and asked softly, Senior Meng Yi, what's the problem? Meng Yi gritted her teeth. Just as she was about to reply, blood suddenly gushed out from her 7 orifices and a large hole appeared on her back. He saw Su Chen and the others rushing out of the cave. My dream creation space has been destroyed. Meng Yi cried out in pain. The dream-making space was his natal theurgy. Once it was destroyed, the damage done to it was immeasurable. At this moment, it was heavily injured and on the verge of death. How could this be? The sea tribe man stood in a daze, murmuring to himself. He could not understand why Meng Yi, as the #1 sacred beast of the sea race, could trap even a saint-level expert in her dream creation space. Why was it ineffective against Su Chen? Could it be that Su Chen was an unkillable existence? The moment the other experts saw Su Chen appear, they were scared out of their wits. They looked at each other and fled for their lives. With Su Chen's brutal means, once he was caught, it was very likely that he would be killed on the spot. Who would be foolish enough to stay here? As for fighting Su Chen to the death? Don't even think about it. Even the saint-level Meng Yi was no match for him. In Su Chen's eyes, they were even less than ants. Let's attack together and leave a few alive. Su Chen roared and attacked Meng Yi first. Wuxia and the others also looked for targets to attack. For a moment, the entire sea region was filled with raging waves and shrill screams. Su Chen chopped down with his saber and killed the heavily injured Meng Yi. Then, he punched the sea tribe man to death. Following that, a dazzling purple light flashed under his feet. He turned into a flash of light and chased after the three strange races with horns. Chapter 796. With two loud bangs, two of the horned aliens were killed on the spot by Su Chen. Although the other one was not dead, he was severely injured by Su Chen and lost the ability to move. He spared his life because it was his first time seeing such an alien, and he wanted to confirm which race he was from. Then, he quickly went to kill the others. Half an hour later, Su Chen returned to the intelligent war chariot, with an elderly human and the horned alien. As for the other humans and aliens, they had all been killed. Su Chen, this guy is the head of the Ling family, Ling Xiaotian. Xianxia pointed at the elderly human and reminded him. Su Chen nodded slightly. He was not in a hurry to interrogate him. Instead, he asked the horned alien, "Which race are you from?" Senior Su, I'm the chief of the horned demon race, Lang Jiqing. Lang Jiqing knelt at Su Chen's feet and said in a trembling voice, "Horned demon race?" Su Chen muttered and snorted. "Who told you to ambush me here?" Jin Yonan of the god race, Lang Jiqing hurriedly replied. Su Chen pondered for a moment and quickly remembered that Jin Yonan was the father of Jin Su, whom he had killed. The hatred for his son's death was irreconcilable. It was understandable that Jin Yonan wanted to avenge Jin Su. However, he seemed to remember that Jin Yonan was only at level 9. How could a level 9 send a level 10 fighter to kill him? You listened to Jin Yonan's orders? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and stared coldly at Lang Jiqing. Senior, the horned demon race is a subordinate force of the god race. Jin Yonan has a saint-level fighter behind him. We have no choice but to listen to his orders, Lang Jiqing hurriedly explained. In other words, they did not want to come here to kill him. It was all Jin Yonan's fault. Su Chen pursed his lips. I don't care if you were forced or not. Since you dared to kill me, you should be prepared to be killed. Just as he was about to attack, Lang Jiqing suddenly shouted, Senior, don't kill me. I can give you something in exchange. Tell me. Su Chen stopped. There was no difference between killing Lang Jiqing and crushing an ant. There was no harm in listening to what he had to say, and then it wouldn't be too late to act. I have news about the machinery hive mind, Li Jiqing said without hesitation. Mechanical heart? Hearing this name, Su Chen's heart thumped fiercely, and his eyes shone with an intense light. The mechanical heart was something that could upgrade the intelligent war chariot and awaken the golden puppet. It was simply too important to him. Where is it? Su Chen asked anxiously. Lang Jiqing could see that Su Chen seemed to be particularly concerned about the machinery hive mind. He thought for a moment and said, Senior, I can tell you about the machinery hive mind, but you must swear to spare my life. He knew that this was his only chance to survive. Whether Su Chen agreed or not, he had to try. Su Chen rubbed his nose as a bone-chilling expression appeared on his face. He glanced at Lang Jiqing, opened the chaos space, and called Chao Ran out. Since Lang Jiqing did not know what was good for him, he could only use punishment. Chen Gu, what's the matter? Chao Ran was a little confused when Su Chen suddenly called him out. Su Chen stretched out his hand and pointed at Lang Jiqing, saying coldly, Torture him. Let him experience what it means to live a life worse than death. Understood. Chao Ran licked his lips and walked toward Lang Jiqing excitedly. Su Chen released his mental power and restrained Lang Jiqing, making it easier for Chao Ran to act. Chapter 797. Ah! Inside the car, Lang Jiqing's shrill scream rang out. In the face of such torture, not many people can withstand it, even if they have reached level 10. Ling Xiaotian, who was next to him, couldn't help but tremble when he saw this scene, and cold sweat broke out on his back. Lang Jiqing screamed for a while, and the last line of defense in his heart finally collapsed. He begged for mercy. Senior, I'll tell you everything. Wouldn't it be better if you were so tactful earlier? Su Chen curled his lips, motioning Chao Ran to stop, and then said lightly, Say it, don't make me wait too long. Lang Jiqing gasped for breath and said truthfully, A mechanical heart has appeared in the elf continent, and a large number of powerhouses are rushing to the elf continent at this moment. The elf continent? Su Chen raised his eyebrows. Not only had he heard of the elf continent, but he had also made a deal with the elf princess Moon Spirit. Strictly speaking, he had helped Moon Spirit. Where did you get this news? Su Chen stared at Lang Jiqing and asked sternly. The mechanical heart was an ore that provided energy for the saint-level puppets, and its preciousness was self-evident. No matter who it was, as long as they got the mechanical heart, they would definitely hide it. So how did the news spread out? I learned about it from the Protoss. Lang Jiqing replied, and then explained, rumor has it that in half a month, an auction will be held in the Moonshine City, the holy city of the elf continent, and the mechanical heart will be auctioned. Hearing this, Su Chen pondered. Logically speaking, something as precious as the mechanical heart would not appear in an auction, but there was no guarantee that someone would take the risk of auctioning it due to the lack of cultivation resources. Satoshi, is there a boundary point that leads to the elf continent nearby? Su Chen asked. The mechanical heart was related to whether the golden puppet could be awakened, and he planned to go to the elf continent to take a look. No. The intelligent war vehicle replied. Although the intelligent war vehicle has opened the function of traversing between realms, it still needs to find the corresponding boundary point. Otherwise, it would be easy to enter the realms of other races. Su Chen, are you not going to Qingyun Island? Wu Yazi probed. Let's go to the elf continent for now, Su Chen said in a deep voice. The purpose of going to Green Cloud Island was to find the Tree of Life. The value of the Tree of Life was actually above the mechanical heart. However, he did not know if there was a Tree of Life on Qingyun Island, so it did not matter if he went later. The Moonlight City auction was about to begin. If he missed it, he would most likely lose the mechanical heart. Given how precious the machinery heart was, if he missed this opportunity, who knew when he would be able to obtain it again? However, it wasn't easy to travel to the Elven continent. First, they had to determine the boundary point. Su Chen thought that there must be a boundary point that connects to the elf race's continent near the Void Pierce stage because Moon Spirit had once appeared on Void Pierce Island. However, Chongshu Island was too far away from here. Once he got there, maybe the auction in the Moonshine City would have already ended. How can I quickly enter the elf continent? Su Chen frowned and pondered. Suddenly, his eyes lit up and he asked Lang Jiqing, does your horned demon race have a boundary passage that connects to the elf continent? If there was a boundary passage between the two continents, it meant that the two continents were very close to each other. Then, it would be easy to determine a boundary point and travel to the elf continent. There is one, but only level 6 cultivators are allowed to enter freely, Lang Jiqing replied. Su Chen was delighted. As long as he could confirm that there was a boundary passage, everything else would be easy. Chapter 798. Satoshi, is there a horned demon boundary point nearby? Su Chen asked. If there was a boundary point, they only needed to enter the horned demon race's continent and then enter the elf race's continent. This way, they had a high chance of reaching the Moonshine City before the auction started. 800 miles ahead, there is a boundary point that leads to the horned demon race's continent. You can enter the horned demon race's continent, the intelligent war chariot replied with certainty. Good. Head to that boundary point immediately and enter the horned demon race's continent. Su Chen put Meng Yi's body into his storage bag and then gave the order. Yes. The intelligent war chariot picked up speed and flew forward. Su Chen glanced at Lang Jiqing and Ling Xiaotian and said to himself, I'll let you two live for a while longer. Entering the horned demon race's continent and being unfamiliar with the place, it would be more convenient with Lang Jiqing, the patriarch of the horned demon race, leading the way. As for Ling Xiaotian, he still had some things to ask him, so he would let him live for the time being. The intelligent war chariot found the boundary point and activated the shuttle function, easily entering the horned demon race's continent. It was the first time Lang Jiqing and Ling Xiaotian had experienced such an unbelievable thing and were stunned. Satoshi, is there a boundary point that leads to the elf race nearby? Su Chen asked immediately. No. The intelligent war chariot searched for a while and immediately replied. Su Chen did not care and turned to Lang Jiqing and said coldly, You lead the way to the boundary passage that leads to the elf race. If you dare to play tricks, be careful of your head. I don't dare. Lang Jiqing trembled in fear and obediently led the intelligent war chariot in the right direction. Su Chen turned his gaze to Ling Xiaotian and asked indifferently, "Tell me, who ordered you to kill me?" "It was the saint-level ancestors of the sanctuary who ordered me to do so," Ling Xiaotian hurriedly said. After seeing Su Chen's cruel methods, he did not dare to hide anything. "Which saint-level ancestors are there?" Su Chen rubbed his nose and asked calmly. He had already guessed that the saint-level ancestors of the human race would send people to kill him. What he wanted to know was, who exactly were these people? When he advanced to the saint stage, he would definitely slaughter them all. Apart from the Sun Moon Star Palace's saint-level ancestors, all the other saint-level ancestors have the same intention. Ling Xiaotian gritted his teeth and said, F***CK. Su Chen could not help but curse. It was true that he had offended many people, but he couldn't afford to offend all the saint-level ancestors. Those saint-level ancestors who had nothing to do with him also wanted to kill him. They had gone too far. "What's the situation with our Sun Moon Star Palace's forefather Warsky?" Xianxia asked anxiously. Forefather Warsky was related to her by blood, so she was very concerned about his safety. "I think he's under house arrest," Lin Xiaotian replied. Xianxia heaved a sigh of relief. Although he was under house arrest, at least his life was not in danger. "Don't worry, Sect Master. I will definitely think of a way to save Ancestor Warsky." Su Chen comforted. "Su Chen, thank you," Xianxia said gratefully. If someone else said this, she would definitely think that they were boasting shamelessly. However, Su Chen was different. Everyone knew about Su Chen's talent and strength. It would not be long before he advanced to the saint stage. At that time, who would be a match for Su Chen? Therefore, Xianxia trusted Su Chen's words completely. Chapter 799. We're family. You don't have to be so courteous with me, Sect Master. Su Chen smiled and turned to Ling Xiaotian. How many sage-level humans are there in the holy region? Since the sage-level humans wanted to kill him, he naturally wanted to teach them a lesson. He wanted to see how many people wanted to go against him. I'm not sure exactly how many there are, but there are at least a few dozen of them, Ling Xiaotian thought for a moment and replied. Su Chen estimated that the number was about right. Every major force in the mysterious heavenly continent had one or two sage-level humans. In addition to the countless islands, it was normal for there to be a few dozen sage-level humans. Since he had asked all the questions he wanted, there was no need for Ling Xiaotian to stay. Su Chen punched Ling Xiaotian's head without warning and threw his body out of the car. Lang Jiqing's teeth chattered when he saw this. Su Chen killed him without any hesitation, which was a huge blow to him. After killing Ling Xiaotian, Su Chen clapped his hands and sat in the driver's seat as if he had done something insignificant. He began to organize the fragments that he had obtained earlier. After killing a sage-level demon beast and a dozen foreign tribesmen, he had obtained a total of more than 10,000 fragments. It was a huge harvest. After that, under Lang Jiqing's guidance, the intelligent war chariot sped along without facing any obstacles. It could be said that it was very smooth. However, after driving for 5 days, they still had not reached the interworld passage that connected to the elf tribe. This aroused Su Chen's suspicion. "Lang, you're not playing any tricks on me, are you? Why haven't we reached the destination yet?" Su Chen asked coldly. Lang Jiqing was shocked. He was afraid that Su Chen would kill him if he was unhappy. He quickly explained, "Senior, we're almost there. It'll take half a day at most." Su Chen snorted and sat back in the driver's seat. He could afford to wait for half a day. If Lang Jiqing dared to play any tricks, he would make Lang Jiqing regret living in this world. Half a day passed in a flash. When a huge stone tower appeared in front of the intelligent war chariot, Lang Jiqing suppressed his excitement and said to Su Chen, "Elder, the domain passage is in the stone tower." Su Chen nodded slightly and said to the intelligent war chariot, "Satoshi, check that stone tower. Is there a domain passage? You can even investigate?" When Lang Jiqing heard this, his face suddenly became abnormally ugly, and at the same time, his heart thumped wildly. "Master, there is no realm passage inside, but there is a saint-level existence and several level 9 cultivators," the intelligent war chariot immediately reminded him. There was no realm passage, but there was a saint-level existence? Su Chen immediately realized that he had been deceived, and his face was filled with bone-chilling coldness. Do you know the consequences of lying to me? Su Chen sneered. He reached out and grabbed one of Lang Jiqing's arms, then pulled hard. A crack sound was heard. Lang Jiqing's entire arm was severed at the base, and bright red blood flowed out, drenching half of his body red. However, Lang Jiqing endured the pain and shouted in the direction of the stone tower, "Ancestors, save me!" As if hearing Lang Jiqing's cry for help, a terrifying pressure suddenly swept over from the stone tower. Then, an old man with horns on his head shot out of the stone tower and came in front of the intelligent war chariot, in the blink of an eye. At the same time, 5 level 9 cultivators followed closely behind and surrounded the intelligent war chariot. Chapter 800. Let go of Lang Jiqing, or I'll make you beg for death. The horned demon Saint Level howled angrily. The immense pressure swept over again, causing the intelligent war chariot to tremble slightly. Su Chen, our ancestor is here. As long as you let me go, I can plead for you and let you live. Lang Jiqing also threatened at this moment. Su Chen pursed his lips and slapped Li Jiqing's mouth, causing his entire jaw to collapse. Ugh! Lang Jiqing wailed in pain after suffering such a heavy blow. Su Chen grabbed Lang Jiqing's neck with one hand and dragged him off the chariot. Wu Yazi and the others followed closely behind. Facing a saint-level existence, they were all calm and fearless. After all, with Su Chen around, even a saint level couldn't do much. Human, do you want to die? The horned demon Saint Level was enraged when he saw Lang Jiqing being tortured. An extremely strong murderous aura surrounded him. His murderous aura soared, as if he wanted to skin Su Chen alive. You're just an ant. How dare you be so arrogant in front of me? Su Chen smiled contemptuously and crushed Lang Jiqing's head. You! The horned demon Saint Level was so angry that his mouth trembled. He could no longer suppress the anger in his heart and charged at Su Chen. Su Chen had gone too far by killing Lang Jiqing in front of him. At this moment, he swore to himself that he would definitely cut Su Chen into pieces. At the same time that the horned demon Saint Level attacked, the 5 level 9 cultivators also surrounded him. Wu Yazi and the others looked at each other and found their own opponents to fight. Su Chen opened the pet rearing space and summoned the gold devouring bug. He pointed at the horned demon Saint Level and said in a low voice, "Little bug, go and meet him." The gold devouring bug had already reached level 10. Other than him, almost no one could suppress it at level 10. On the continent, the horned demon saints could only unleash the power of level 10 at most. They might not be a match for the gold devouring beetles. The gold devouring beetles charged ferociously at the night demon saints upon receiving the order. Bang! The night demon saint's fist landed on the gold devouring bug's body, but it only made it sway slightly. On the other hand, he was struck by the gold devouring beetle's claw and was forced back dozens of steps before he could stabilize himself. Level 10 gold devouring beetles. After recognizing the true identity of the gold devouring beetles, the horned demon saint was shocked. The gold devouring beetles had an extremely strong defense. It was almost impossible to find a match for them in the same realm. If they were in the void, he could rely on his level advantage to crush the gold devouring beetles. However, on the continent, his level was suppressed to level 10. It was impossible for him to defeat the gold devouring beetles of the same level. Ah! While the horned demon sages were still in a daze, they suddenly heard a few screams. He looked up and saw that his 5 level 9 subordinates had all been killed. They're all level 10 cultivators. Seeing this, the horned demon saint's expression turned extremely ugly. A level 10 gold devouring beetle was enough to make him suffer. Now that there were multiple level 10 cultivators, he was in an extremely dangerous situation. If he was not careful, he might even lose his life here. When he thought of this, he changed his mind and turned to flee. You think you can escape? Su Chen smiled condescendingly. Then he released his spiritual energy and easily trapped the horned demon saint where he was. What terrifying spiritual energy! The horned demon saint's expression changed again as if he was in a swamp. He knew that if he was trapped here, It would be impossible for him to escape when the gold-devouring beetles and the level 10 cultivators arrived. You want to trap me? Dream on. The horned demon saint clenched his teeth and spat out a mouthful of blood onto the horn on his head. Chapter 801. In the next moment, a layer of blood-red light shone from the black, sharp horn. Like a shield, it enveloped the horned demon sage. This blood-red shield seemed to have a strange tearing power. The blood-red light flashed slightly and easily tore apart the spiritual energy attached to the shield. The horned demon sages that had regained their freedom wanted to continue running, but they were blocked by the gold-devouring beetles that were charging towards them. Scram! The horned demon sage was furious. He clenched his fist and punched. There was a loud boom. The punch landed solidly on the gold-devouring beetle's body and sent it flying. You've become so strong? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and muttered. He saw clearly that the horned demon sage had used some kind of secret technique. When the blood-red shield appeared, his defense and strength increased by several times. It was impossible for the gold-devouring bugs to stop him now. None of the people I want to kill can escape. A sneer appeared at the corner of Su Chen's mouth. His feet instantly flashed with a bewitching purple light. Then he chased after Yi Qingyu. After a few breaths, he had already appeared in front of the horned demon sage, blocking his path. Why are you so fast? The horned demon sage's heart thumped. He clenched his teeth and punched at Su Chen. You want to compete with me in strength? Su Chen curled his lips. He activated the golden scales of the arm and the 100-time strength technique at the same time. Then, he stretched out his hand and grabbed the fist that was coming at him. Go to hell! Seeing how arrogant Su Chen was, the horned demon sage was overjoyed. The blood-red shield on his body was a bloodline power awakened in the void battlefield. It could increase his strength by several times. This punch was like the combined attack of several level 10 cultivators. It was so powerful that even the gold-devouring bugs could not block it. Su Chen was only a level 10 human. If he dared to take this attack head-on, he would be courting death. However, what happened next stunned the horned demon saint level powerhouses. Not only was his punch unable to send Su Chen flying, but he was also firmly clamped down, unable to even struggle free. Why is your strength so great? The horned demon sage level expert stared at Su Chen with his eyes wide open. His eyes were filled with disbelief and fear. Su Chen ignored him. With a sudden burst of strength, he slammed the horned demon saint to the ground. A loud bang was heard. The horned demon saint level expert fell heavily to the ground. The earth trembled, and dense cracks appeared on the ground. The horned demon saint level expert was lying on the ground, dizzy from the fall. His face was filled with confusion. A dignified saint level powerhouse was thrown to the ground like a dead dog? Unexpectedly, before he could catch his breath, he was once again lifted into the air by Su Chen. Then, he made another intimate contact with the ground. Under the huge impact, blood flowed from the corner of the horned demon sage level expert's mouth. He knew very well that he would be smashed to death sooner or later if he continued like this. He shouted, "Stop! Let's talk." "Talk my ass." Su Chen was unmoved and continued to attack. Bang bang. For a moment, the earth trembled, and loud bangs echoed in the surroundings. Su Chen actually used such a method to deal with a saint-level existence. He's too powerful. Seeing this, Wu Yazi and the others were shocked. Chapter 802. Su Chen didn't know how many times he had smashed the horned demon saint-level expert's body, but he only stopped when a large amount of shards had appeared. The shards meant that the horned demon saint-level expert had completely fallen. What a piece of trash! Su Chen glanced at the corpse of the horned demon saint-level expert and snorted softly before collecting the shards. He then called for everyone to return to the chariot. Satoshi, search for any horned demons nearby. Su Chen said immediately. Since he didn't know the exact location of the realm passage to the elves, he had to capture a few horned demons to lead the way. Master, we discovered a few horned demons 50 kilometers ahead. The intelligent war chariot searched and immediately replied. All right, lock onto them and capture them immediately, Su Chen ordered. Yes. The intelligent war chariot moved at full speed and quickly caught up to the horned demons. Su Chen slowly got out of the carriage and swept his gaze across the 5 horned demon clansmen. He coldly said, "The few of you who know the exact location of the realm passage that connects to the elves can live. Human, how did you enter the horned demon continent? Answer truthfully, or we won't be polite." A level 5 horned demon didn't take Su Chen's words seriously and instead shouted at Su Chen. Su Chen didn't hold back either. He released his mind power and slowly crushed the horned demon's body. After witnessing Su Chen's powerful strength and brutal methods, the remaining horned demon clansmen were so scared that their bodies began to tremble. "Do you know?" Su Chen reached out and pointed at a short horned demon. "Senior, I don't know." The horned demon was shocked and hurriedly replied. Su Chen snorted coldly and controlled his mind power to kill the horned demon on the spot. Then, his gaze fell on the remaining 3 horned demon clansmen. 2 of them actually turned around and ran after looking at each other. However, it had only taken a few steps before it exploded and died. "Since you didn't run, it seems like you already know?" Su Chen looked at the last horned demon clansman and said calmly. "Junior indeed knows." The horned demon clansman shuddered as he replied with a trembling voice. Su Chen nodded slightly. "Lead the way. When we get there, I will spare your life." "Thank you, senior." The horned demon clansman let out a heavy sigh. Later, under the guidance of the horned demon, the intelligent war chariot drove in a certain direction. 5 days later, they successfully arrived at a place a few miles away from the realm passage. After confirming that there was a world junction connected to the elven continent nearby, Su Chen released the horned demon. Later, the intelligent war chariot activated the shuttle function and entered the elf continent from this boundary point. As soon as they entered the elf continent, the first thing they saw was a dense forest. It seemed to be boundless, and they couldn't see the end of it. Su Chen glanced around and said to the intelligent war chariot, "Satoshi, search around. Are there any elves around?" They had just entered the elf continent and were unfamiliar with the place. If they wanted to hurry to Moonshine City as soon as possible, they had to find the elves to inquire. "Master, we didn't find any elves, but there is a level 8 monster not far away," the intelligent war chariot replied. A level 8 monster had already gained intelligence and could speak human language. Perhaps they could get some information by capturing and interrogating it. Even if they didn't know anything, it didn't matter. If they killed it, they could obtain a level 8 energy stone and a large number of fragments. Chapter 803. "Satoshi, fly over and catch it," Su Chen ordered. "Yes." The intelligent war chariot locked onto the level 8 beast and sped forward. When it was less than 100 meters away from the beast, the intelligent war chariot suddenly said, "Master, it has discovered us and has begun to flee. Its speed is even faster than mine." Su Chen made a sound of surprise. The intelligent war chariot's flying speed reached more than 1,000 miles per hour. That level 8 beast was actually faster than the intelligent war chariot. This was somewhat out of his expectations. "Satoshi, capture its image," Su Chen ordered. He wanted to see what kind of beast could have such speed. The image on the central control screen changed. Soon, a palm-sized silver bird appeared. It looked very cute and was completely different from a level 8 beast. "This is a level 8 beast?" Su Chen opened his mouth slightly and was stunned for a moment. "Su Chen, this is a swift bird, also known as a treasure-hunting bird. Its population is very rare and it is almost extinct." After Li Kueyang saw the appearance of the silver bird, he suddenly became excited. "Senior, what can it do?" Su Chen asked in a low voice. Listening to Li Kueyang's tone, this silver bird seemed to have a great background. In addition to being fast, the swift bird also has a very strong perception ability. Not only can it predict the danger around it, but it can also detect whether there are treasures nearby, Li Kueyang explained. Hearing this, Su Chen's eyes suddenly lit up. The swift bird's ability to predict danger and its ability to find treasures was not to be underestimated. If he took it as a spirit pet, it would definitely be of great help. Thinking of this, he opened the door and stood in mid-air. Then, he put the intelligent war chariot into the chaos space. Since the intelligent war chariot could not catch up to the swift bird, he could only chase it himself. "Satoshi, Report the swift bird's location at any time. Su Chen ordered and activated the rapid combat boots. Under the guidance of the intelligent war chariot, he quickly chased after them. After reaching level 10, his speed was already extremely fast. Coupled with the acceleration effect of the rapid combat boots, his running speed was even faster than before. In less than 10 minutes, Su Chen had already chased the swift bird to less than 20 meters away. He then released his mental power and easily captured it. "Let me go! Let me go!" The swift alarm bird struggled in fear, roaring and screaming. However, it was only a level 8 demonic beast. How could it break free from Su Chen's mental restraint? Su Chen manipulated his spiritual force and pulled it closer. He looked at it and said to himself, "The taste of a level 8 monster beast should be very good. Should I roast it? Or is it better to fry them?" Swift Bird was so scared that its whole body trembled. It said loudly, "Senior, I'm a swift bird. Not only can I predict danger, but I can also sense if there are treasures nearby. Don't eat me." It still thought that Su Chen was going to eat it. It hurriedly said its advantages to move Su Chen, so that Su Chen would change his mind. "In that case, you're still useful." Su Chen rubbed his nose and pretended to be deep and said, "I don't have to eat you, but you have to be my spiritual pet." "I'm willing to be Senior's spiritual pet." Swift Bird nodded furiously. Seeing this, Su Chen couldn't help but smile. Then he took out a bottle of pet potion and fed it to Swift Bird. "Master, I feel danger." Swift Bird had just taken the pet potion when it suddenly warned. Chapter 804. Danger? Su Chen raised his eyebrows and quickly glanced around, but found nothing. Where did the danger come from? Thinking of the swift bird's ability to foresee danger, Su Chen was not careless and quickly contacted the intelligent war chariot. "Satoshi, search around. Is there any unusual movement?" "No," the intelligent war chariot immediately replied. "No." Su Chen frowned slightly and was about to release his mental strength to investigate. Right in front of him, ripples suddenly appeared in the void. Immediately after, a cold light flashed from within and shot straight at him. "You're courting death." Su Chen snorted coldly. A faint golden light appeared on his palm, and he punched out. There was a loud bang. Su Chen's fist hit the cold light in the middle, but a certain part of the void trembled violently, and circles of ripples appeared. Then, 2 beautiful young women appeared from it. One of them was tall and slender, with a trace of heroic spirit in her beautiful eyes. The other person was petite and looked a little mischievous. Both of them had long silver hair, which added a bit of beauty to their appearance. "Human, why is your physical body so strong?" The tall woman looked at Su Chen and let out a soft sound of surprise. There were very few people who could block her blow with their physical body, let alone a weak human. This made her feel very surprised. Su Chen ignored her and said coldly, "Since you launched a sneak attack, you'd better give me a reasonable explanation. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude." "Rude? Do you really think you can be rampant in front of me after blocking my blow?" The tall woman laughed, and a touch of contempt appeared on her face. She put on a look of disdain, as if she didn't take Su Chen seriously. "Sister, don't say that." The petite woman pulled the tall woman's arm, then turned to Su Chen and said embarrassedly, "Human friend, my sister attacked you in a hurry because you stole our spiritual pet." "Stole your spiritual pet?" Su Chen's expression froze. He looked down at the swift bird in his hand and said in a deep voice, "You mean this swift bird is your spiritual pet?" "Yes." The petite woman nodded heavily. "Human, for the sake of your ignorance, hand over the swift bird and we can pretend that nothing happened." The tall woman stared at Su Chen and snorted coldly. "Threatening me?" Su Chen snorted and asked the swift bird, "Shao Sun, are you their spiritual pet?" "Master, I'm not their spiritual pet, I was caught by them." The swift bird replied affirmatively. When they heard the quick alarm bird call Su Chen master, the tall woman and the man's expression changed. Once a beast recognized its master, it would be difficult to tame it. They had spent a lot of time on the swift alarm bird, so they couldn't accept it. "Did you two hear that? The swift bird is my spiritual pet, and you dare to have ideas about it. You're courting death." Su Chen shouted coldly. Damn it! The tall woman flew into a rage. She held a silver spear in her hand and stabbed it straight at Su Chen. Sister, don't do it. The petite woman tried to stop her, but it was too late. Su Chen didn't care at first, but when the silver spear came close, he felt that something was wrong. The silver spear had the power to tear space, which was the same as the space-tearing power released by the Chaos Sky-splitting sword. Space Sacred Weapon. Realizing that the silver spear was a space-sacred weapon, Su Chen stopped looking down on it. Chapter 805. Suddenly, a small mountain of multicolored light appeared in front of Su Chen. Clang! Right at this moment, the silver spear collided heavily with the integrated 5 Extremes mountain, emitting a clanging sound. You have a sacred weapon. The tall woman looked at Su Chen in a daze, her face full of shock. Su Chen snorted and ignored her. Then, he moved and appeared in front of the tall woman. He raised his sword and slashed. In an instant, a white torrent emitting a terrifying wave of ice magic swept forward. Seeing this, the tall woman's eyelids twitched. Su Chen's speed was as fast as lightning, and he was also a high-level Dharma psychic. She found it unbelievable. However, she would not sit still. Just as she was about to use the spear in her hand to block, she suddenly felt an invisible force wrap around her body. All her movements became sluggish. Mental energy? The tall woman's expression changed. If she could not break free in time, she would definitely be frozen by the ice magic. Oh no! The petite woman saw that the situation was critical and appeared in front of the tall woman with a ghostly speed. Then, she waved a silver scimitar. Several streaks of silver light streaked across the sky, and a black hole appeared in the void, swallowing the white torrent that was flying toward it. Then, the black hole and the white torrent disappeared without a trace. Void transference? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and muttered. The petite woman was also a level 10 cultivator, but her strength was obviously higher than the tall woman. Especially the ability of void transference, it was very strange. It made him wonder if it was a special ability that he had awakened after entering the void battleground. At this time, the petite woman slashed the mental energy around the tall woman. Then she said to Su Chen, "Friend, we don't want the Swiftbird anymore. Let's leave now." Wait a minute. Su Chen shouted. What else do you want? The tall woman glared at Su Chen angrily. She seemed to be unconvinced, but more than that, she was afraid. Not only did Su Chen have a sacred weapon, but he was also a full-time cultivator. His strength was something she had never seen in her life. If not for the petite woman's help, she might have been captured or killed. Now that she heard that Su Chen did not want them to leave, she was a little uneasy. You can fight and leave as you wish. How can it be so easy in this world? Su Chen snorted. Hearing this, the two women's expressions changed. Obviously, Su Chen did not plan to let them go so easily. If it were someone else, they would not have cared. But Su Chen was different. Su Chen was too strong. Even if they joined forces, they might not be a match. The petite girl thought for a moment, then gritted her teeth and said, "If you don't pursue this matter, we can pay you something." "Tell me about it," Su Chen said calmly. He did not attack immediately because he wanted to see if they had anything good. After all, both of them had a sacred weapon each. They were definitely people with a lot of money. "I can give you some healing pills and 10 level 7 energy stones," the petite woman said slowly. Su Chen snorted. She had the nerve to take out such little things? Was she trying to get rid of a beggar? "Your lives are only worth this little?" Su Chen sneered and opened the pet-raising space and chaos space. He summoned the gold-devouring beetles, Wu Yazi, and the others. Chapter 806. Level 10 Gold-Devouring Beetles. And so many level 10 cultivators. When the petite girl and the tall girl saw that Su Chen had summoned so many experts, they were shocked. They didn't even have the confidence to win against Su Chen alone. With the addition of so many experts, their situation became extremely dangerous. After the two looked at each other, they seemed to have made a decision. Their bodies suddenly shone with starlight, and ripples appeared in the surrounding void. "Want to run?" Su Chen snorted lightly, holding a giant black sword in his hand, and swept it across the air. The other party was probably trying to use spatial teleportation to leave this place. The primal chaos skysplitter sword had the power to tear space. As long as the surrounding space was disturbed, spatial teleportation would be impossible. As expected, when a black vortex wreaked havoc in the surroundings, the ripples with silver light immediately dissipated. Seeing this scene, the petite girl and the tall girl's faces were extremely ugly. Are you going to surrender? Or do you want to force me to attack? Su Chen glanced at the two coldly and said indifferently, Sister, let's fight it out with him. The tall girl gritted her teeth and put on a desperate posture. The petite girl sighed faintly and turned to the tall girl with a look. Sister, let's surrender. Surrender? So straightforward? Su Chen was a little surprised. After all, with the other party's strength, they could definitely fight it out. Sister, what nonsense are you talking about? How can we surrender? The tall girl's face was sullen. Obviously, she was unwilling to surrender. Only death awaits you if you don't surrender. Su Chen scolded with a cold face. Then he snorted and said, If you want to surrender, throw your weapons over first. I'll only give you 3 breaths of time. The other party's 2 weapons were sacred artifacts. Once the 2 girls lost their weapons, their strength would definitely plummet. There was no need to be afraid of them causing trouble. The petite girl did not even think about it. She directly threw the silver scimitar in her hand to Su Chen. Then, she snatched the tall girl's silver spear and handed it to Su Chen. Su Chen happily put the 2 sacred artifacts into his storage bag. He turned to the 2 girls and said, What are your names? Where are you from? Regardless of whether he killed these 2 people or not, he had to figure out their background before doing so. My name is Qi Muyu. She is my sister, Qi Muxia. We are from the Qi clan of the Void Fortress. The petite girl, Qi Muyu, heaved a sigh of relief and introduced. Void Fortress? Su Chen rubbed his nose and muttered. This was the first time he had heard of this name. This was also the first time the others had heard of it, so they were all at a loss. On the other hand, Wu Yazi's expression suddenly changed as he asked, Your Qi clan's ancestor is Qi Qingchuan? Exactly. Qi Muyu nodded. Hiss. Wu Yazi immediately sucked in a breath of cold air, and his expression became abnormally solemn. As a former sage, he had heard of some of the powerful forces in the void. As for the Qi family of the Void Fortress, it was definitely a great power with a thunderous reputation. Senior, is there a problem? Seeing the change in Wu Yazi's expression, Su Chen asked in a low voice. Wu Yazi took a deep breath and explained, The Qi clan is a first-class force in the void. Their ancestor, Qi Qingchuan, is a super powerhouse at the 5th stage of the Saint Stage. 5th stage of the Saint Stage? Shang, Kai Li, and the others opened their eyes wide in shock. One must know that the Sun Moon Star Palace also had 2 Saint Stage ancestors, but they were only at the 1st stage of the Saint Stage. Qi Qingchuan, however, was at the 5th stage of the Saint Stage, which was 4 levels higher than them. He could definitely be called a super powerhouse. Chapter 807. Su Chen's expression froze. He pondered for a moment and asked Wu Yazi, Senior, there are forces in the void? According to his understanding, the void was mostly filled with spatial turbulence and there was no place for them to stand. What method did the Qi clan use to stand tall in the void? Wu Yazi replied, You should know about the void battleground, right? The void battleground is actually a small continent in the void. The void battleground is also a small continent. Furthermore, as they exist in the void, they are constantly being attacked by the void beasts. However, the Qi clan has always been standing tall. From this it can be seen just how powerful they are. Oh! Su Chen nodded and was secretly amazed by the Qi clan's strength. The fact that they could fight against the void beasts was enough to prove that the Qi clan was not to be trifled with. Human, since you know who we are, do you still dare to capture us? Why don't you hand over the swift bird and our weapons and beg for our forgiveness? Qi Muxia said proudly. In her opinion, the Qi clan was so powerful that Su Chen must be scared out of his wits. Hearing this, Su Chen's eyes gradually narrowed. He released his mental power without warning. While binding Qi Muxia, he raised his hand and slapped her. A crisp slap resounded in the air. The surroundings immediately fell into a strange silence. Not only were Qi Muxue and Qi Muxue stunned, but even Wu Yazi and the rest were stunned. Qi Muxue was a direct descendant of the Qi clan and had the protection of a stage 5 sage-level expert. How could Su Chen hit her? However, after thinking about Su Chen's style of doing things, Wu Yazi and the rest were relieved. Ever since they knew Su Chen, they had never seen Su Chen afraid of anyone. Especially in the mainland, Su Chen was an existence that could do whatever he wanted. So what if he was a stage 5 sage-level expert? As long as he dared to come to the mainland, he would still be tortured by Su Chen. With strength came confidence. A mere junior from the Qi family dared to clamor in front of Su Chen. It was normal for him to be taught a lesson. You dare to hit me? Qi Muxue covered half of her swollen face and her eyes were filled with anger. Su Chen glared at him and scolded, "One more word and I'll kill you on the spot." Was it possible for Qi Muxue to show off in front of him? He would not tolerate Qi Muxue's bad habits. You? Qi Muxue was so angry that the corners of her mouth twitched. He originally wanted to scold him, but under Su Chen's forceful gaze, he couldn't summon the slightest bit of courage and obediently shut his mouth. Friend, don't you think you've gone too far? Qi Muyu said with a sullen face. With the Qi clan's reputation, who wouldn't give them face? However, not only did Su Chen not give her any face, he even attacked her in public, which made her very angry. Gone too far. Su Chen sneered and said coldly, "You guys attacked me first and even wanted to snatch my spiritual pet. You still have the nerve to say that I've gone too far? Don't you have any shame?" Under Su Chen's questioning, Qi Muyu was speechless. Just as Su Chen said, they were indeed in the wrong first. Then, what will it take for you to let us go? Qi Muyu thought for a while and asked probingly. Su Chen's thoughts slowly turned. If he killed Qi Muyu and Qi Muxue, he could at least obtain a few thousand fragments and 2 sacred artifacts. However, if he did that, he would become enemies with the Qi family, which would not be beneficial for him to travel in the void in the future. It would be better to take the opportunity to extort them. Chapter 808. It's not that I can't let you go, but you have to give me some compensation, Su Chen said as he rubbed his nose. What do you want? Qi Muyu's expression turned serious as she asked. Previously, she had given him some things, but Su Chen didn't care about them at all. This meant that Su Chen's appetite was huge, and he might ask for an exorbitant price. The two of you are not only the direct descendants of the Qi clan, but you are also level 10 cultivators. If the things you give are too shabby, it will not be good for your status, Su Chen said as he squinted his eyes. Indeed, he is going to ask for an exorbitant price. Qi Muyu gritted her teeth as she muttered in her heart. Su Chen purposely pointed out their status and was obviously going to ask for an exorbitant price. This made her very angry, but she couldn't do anything about it. Su Chen took a deep breath and continued, "The Qi clan is also a superpower in the void. You must have accumulated a lot of wealth. Tell me, what good things do you have that are worthy of your status?" The meaning behind his words was obvious. If they couldn't take out some good things, it would be impossible for them to leave this place. Qi Muyu sighed helplessly and said slowly, "I can give you some level 1 void crystals and some high-quality weapons." Kiki. Su Chen sneered, and his expression turned cold. "You want to send me away with these things?" The void crystals were obtained from the void beasts, and their quality was much higher than energy stones. A level 1 void crystal was equivalent to a level 6 energy stone. However, Su Chen had plenty of level 6 energy stones in his storage bag. Why would he be interested in them? As for ordinary weapons, they were even more trash in his eyes. Seeing that Su Chen was a little angry, Qi Muyu's heart trembled. She asked anxiously, "What do you want? Energy stones above level 9, demon plant holy items, or ores of the same value as the mechanical heart?" "I can barely do it," Su Chen said casually. Qi Muyu and Qi Muxue were dumbfounded. They already knew that Su Chen would demand an exorbitant price, but they didn't expect it to be so exaggerated. The Qi family still had some level 9 energy stones, after all. However, the demonic plant holy artifact and the mechanical heart were items that could only be found by chance. Even a large faction like the Qi family did not possess them. Wu Yazi and the others clicked their tongues. Su Chen's asking price was really ruthless. He even wanted the machinery heart. It was obvious that he wanted to take the opportunity to extort the Qi clan. In this world, only Su Chen would dare to blackmail the Qi family. Qi Muyu gritted his teeth and asked, "The Qi family doesn't have any demon plant holy items or mechanical hearts, but I can give you level 9 energy stones. How many do you want?" "I'll take a little loss and give your Qi family some face. Just give me 100 pills," Su Chen said indifferently. The level 9 energy stones were mainly for the intelligent chariots and mechanical soldiers. Of course, he also knew that the other party would not be able to take out 100 pills. The reason why he did this was to wait for the other party to bargain. 100 pills? Qi Muyu was stunned. He almost choked to death. At first, she thought that Su Chen would ask for 8 or 10 at most. After all, level 9 energy stones were not cabbages. Who would have thought that Su Chen would ask for 100 pills? She now suspected that Su Chen was purposely making things difficult for them. He did not plan to let them go. "We don't have that many. The most we can give you is 10, Qi Muyu said angrily. "Looks like you're not going to give me face." Su Chen narrowed his eyes. His body exuded a strong murderous aura. Chapter 809. You want to kill us? Feeling Su Chen's murderous intent, Qi Muxue screamed in fear. Wu Yazi and the others were also shocked. Once they killed Qi Muxue and Wu Yazi, they would face endless pursuit when they entered the void in the future. "I can give you a sage puppet in exchange." Qi Muyu struggled for a while and finally gritted his teeth and said. Su Chen's eyes suddenly lit up. The value of a sage puppet was self-evident. If the other party could really give him a sage puppet, he could let them go. "I need to see the quality of the sage puppet first." Su Chen pondered for a while and said slowly. There were good and bad sage puppets too. If the other party gave him a damaged sage puppet, he would suffer a great loss. "Sure." Qi Muyu opened his storage bag and took out a palm-sized steel puppet and placed it in front of Su Chen. This was a sage puppet? Was this a joke? The puppet in Qi Muyu's hand was more like a toy. The reason was that it was too small and did not match the mighty form of a sage puppet at all. Su Chen sized it up and his heart skipped a beat. This puppet was a little small, but it had many similarities to the golden puppet in the abandoned land. Could it also be from the Machine Empire? Thinking of this, Su Chen quietly contacted the intelligent war chariot and asked, "Satoshi, feel this puppet. Is it from the machine race?" Although the intelligent war chariot was an item dropped from the fragment, it belonged to the machine race. If it was of the same kind, it should be able to feel it. "Master, it is from the machine race. I feel that it is very powerful. It is not much weaker than Otetsu," the intelligent war chariot replied with certainty. Su Chen was a little excited. Otetsu was referring to the golden puppet. The golden puppet was at least a sage puppet. Similar to the golden puppet, he should also be a first-stage saint rank, right? It didn't matter what stage of the saint rank it was, as long as it was confirmed that it was from the machine race. "Let me have a look at that puppet," Su Chen said calmly. Qi Muyu didn't think too much about it and happily handed the puppet over to Su Chen. Unexpectedly, Su Chen didn't even look at it before putting it into his storage pouch. He then asked, "Where did you get this puppet?" "I found it in a ruin in the void." Qi Muyu paused for a moment before replying. "You came to the Elf continent to participate in the Moonshine City auction and bid for the mechanical heart, right?" Su Chen nodded and continued probing. Qi Muyu always felt that Su Chen's words had a hidden meaning, but for a while, he didn't know what Su Chen was planning, so he bluntly said, "There is such a plan." When Qi Muyu's words fell, a meaningful smile appeared on the corner of Su Chen's mouth, and then he said, "Since you want to bid for the mechanical heart, you must have something of corresponding value on you, right? Take it out and let me have a look." Qi Muyu suddenly realized that Su Chen had this idea. As Su Chen said, she did have something very precious on her, and its value was comparable to the mechanical heart. However, she didn't want to take it out. Once she took it out, Su Chen would definitely snatch it away. She had already given away a sage rank puppet. If she lost the thing in her hand, it would be a big loss. Seeing Qi Muyu hesitating, Su Chen sneered in his heart. He then released his spiritual force to bind Qi Muxia, and then grabbed Qi Muxia's neck and threatened, "Take out the thing or I will kill her on the spot." Chapter 8:10. You. Qi Muyu was furious. She clenched her fists tightly. However, even though she was extremely angry, she did not dare to take action. Firstly, she could not defeat Su Chen. Secondly, once she took action, Qi Muxia would be the first one to die. "I'll give you 3 breaths time. If you don't take it out, I'll take action." Su Chen's face was cold. He could not help but tighten his grip. Qi Muxia rolled her eyes. "Stop. I'll give it to you." Murong Yu could not bear to see Murong Shui being tortured. She shouted anxiously. "I'm just joking with you. Why are you so agitated?" Su Chen chuckled and loosened his grip. He stretched out his hand in front of Qi Muyu and said in a low voice, "Give it to me." Qi Muyu gnashed his teeth in anger. There was nothing he could do. He glared at Su Chen to express his dissatisfaction. Then, he took out a bottle of green liquid from his storage pouch and handed it to Su Chen. "What's this?" Su Chen looked at it and asked softly. "This is a bottle of primary life liquid." Qi Muyu sighed and explained, "The primary life liquid can not only increase one's lifespan, but also heal one's injuries. It even has the effect of reviving the dead." Upon hearing this, Su Chen's expression changed abruptly. If the primary life liquid's effect was true, its value was almost the same as the life crystal core that he had obtained from Li Liang. The others were also shocked. Especially Wu Yazi and Li Kueyang, who did not have much lifespan left, knew the preciousness of the primary life liquid. Su Chen took a deep breath and sent the bottle of primary life liquid into the planting dimension. Then, he communicated with the longevity fruit tree. "Xiao Shou, do you know about the primary life liquid?" "The primary life liquid is the juice of the tree of life," the longevity fruit tree replied quickly. "The juice of the tree of life?" Su Chen's eyes lit up. Then he said, "Are you sure that the bottle contains the primary life liquid?" The longevity fruit tree opened the bottle, and an extremely rich aura of life immediately spread out. "Master, this is the life original fluid. I can't be wrong." The life origin fruit tree was extremely excited. After getting a positive answer, Su Chen closed the plant dimension and asked Qi Muyu, "Where did you get this bottle of primary life liquid?" Since the life original fluid was the sap of the tree of life, and the tree of life had disappeared, was there any connection between the two? "The life original fluid was given to me by my ancestor," Qi Muyu said grumpily. Originally, he had come to the elf continent to bid for the machinery heart. Unexpectedly, not only did he fail to obtain the mechanical heart, the swift bird, the saint-level puppet, and the primary life fluid had all been snatched away by Su Chen. It really made her depressed to the extreme. "I've given you everything. Can you let us go now?" Qi Muxia asked coldly. Su Chen was very satisfied with a saint-level puppet and a bottle of primary life fluid. However, it was impossible for him to let them go so easily. "I can let you go, but you have to swear an oath that you won't harm me in the future," Su Chen said with a serious face. In order to avoid the revenge of the Qi family in the future, he had to make Qi Muyu and Qi Muxia swear an oath. Oaths of the heavenly way had a certain binding effect on cultivators. The higher the level, the stronger the binding effect. Qi Muxia was about to go crazy with anger. Originally, she had planned to go back to her family and gather experts to deal with Su Chen. However, once she swore an oath, all her plans would be ruined. He could only forcefully suppress this resentment. She was extremely unwilling to accept this. Chapter 8:11. Qi Muyu also didn't want to make an oath. She didn't want to retaliate against Su Chen, but she felt that Su Chen was going too far. Seeing that Qi Muyu and Qi Muyu didn't express their opinion, Su Chen curled his lips. "Since you two don't agree, I can only return the things to you and then kill you. Kill us, and the things will still be yours." Qi Muyu and Qi Muyu were indignant. But in the face of Su Chen's coercion, they had no choice but to make a poison oath. "Well, the things have been given to you, and the oath has been made. This time you should let us go, right? Qi Muxue said coldly with a straight face. Being bullied by Su Chen for so long, she was extremely aggrieved in her heart. She just wanted to leave here as soon as possible. No hurry, there is still a small matter that needs your help, Su Chen said faintly. There is still a matter? Qi Muxue and Qi Muyu looked at each other. Their faces sank, and their hearts were even more uneasy. I am not a bad person. Look at how scared you are. Su Chen chuckled and then said, You guide me to the route. When we reach Moonshine City, I will let you leave. It turned out to be a guide. Qi Muxue and Qi Muyu breathed a sigh of relief. Later, Su Chen took out the intelligent war chariot. After everyone got on, under the guidance of Qi Muxue and Qi Muyu, they went straight to Moonshine City. On the way, Qi Muyu suddenly thought of something and said to Su Chen, Can you return our weapons to us? Their weapons had reached the level of sacred tools. Once they lost it, their combat effectiveness would be greatly reduced. Even at level 10, it was very dangerous to be in the elf continent. However, she also knew that the value of sacred tools was very high. Would Su Chen be willing to give them back? The value of sacred tools is self-evident. No matter where it is placed, it is a hot commodity. If it is placed in an auction, the value will probably double. Su Chen didn't answer directly, but instead, he said something meaningful. The meaning behind his words was very clear. If he didn't pay a price, he wouldn't be able to take back the 2 saint artifacts. Those 2 weapons clearly belong to us. What else do you want? Qi Mushue's chest heaved. She was so angry that her lungs were about to explode. Su Chen clearly wanted to scam them. He was simply too shameless. Watch your words. Su Chen scolded with a cold face. We were enemies before, and those 2 saint artifacts were my spoils of war. You still have the nerve to say that they're yours? Is everyone in your Qi family as shameless as you? You? Qi Muxue was so angry that she couldn't say anything. It was obviously Su Chen who was in the wrong, but she couldn't refute. She couldn't help but feel like crying. Qi Muyu knew that it was impossible to reason with Su Chen. He said helplessly, What do you want? 20 level 10 energy stones, Su Chen said bluntly. Why don't you just rob someone? Qi Muxue was so angry that her nose was crooked. Even 1 level 10 energy stone was priceless. Su Chen wanted 20 of them. He was too black-hearted. If you don't want to give it to me, then forget it. I'm not begging you, Su Chen said casually. If the other party didn't agree, he could just go to the Moonshine City to auction it off. Wait a minute, I agree. Qi Muyu suddenly said. Su Chen nodded slightly. He looked at Qi Muxue and said in an old-fashioned manner, Look at how sensible your sister is. Then look at you? You're nothing. You've lived so long in vain. Qi Muxue swallowed her saliva and almost fainted from anger. After reprimanding Qi Muxue, Su Chen turned to Qi Muyu and said faintly, Since you've agreed, hand over the energy stones. Chapter 8:12. I don't have it on me, but you can go to our Su family to ask for it, or I'll give it to you the next time we meet, Qi Muyu said. The reason why he agreed so readily was that he thought that Su Chen would never dare to go to the Qi family, so there was no need to pay the energy stones. Su Chen narrowed his eyes, pondered for a while and said, It's not impossible to go to your Qi family to get it, but after all, it's a long journey, and it's not easy to go there. The price must be doubled. 20 level 10 energy stones. Double that would be 40. Its value had exceeded 2 sacred tools. But Qi Muyu still did not hesitate and said happily, Okay. He believed that Su Chen would not dare to go. Even if he asked for 100 stones, he would agree. Su Chen sneered in his heart. He could guess Qi Muyu's thoughts. However, Qi Muyu obviously underestimated his ability to advance. It would not take long for him to advance to the sacred rank. And when he went to the Qi family, he did not know how much his cultivation would improve. At that time, if the Qi family dared to renege on the debt, he did not mind overturning the entire Void Fortress. Since you agree, then give us the weapons, Qi Muxue said impatiently. Why are you in such a hurry? I will give it to you when we reach the Moonshine City. Su Chen snorted and did not give Qi Muxue a good face. Qi Muxue knew that she could not win against Su Chen, so she simply kept quiet. Su Chen was too lazy to pay attention to her. He sat in the driver's seat and closed his eyes to rest. The intelligent war chariot traveled through the night. At noon the next day, the swift bird suddenly warned, "Master, I feel that there is a dangerous aura approaching us." Danger? Su Chen slowly opened his eyes. He had experienced the swift bird's ability to predict danger. Since the swift bird said so, there must be danger. Satoshi, search around. Su Chen ordered. "Master, we've discovered 2 aliens rapidly approaching us," the intelligent war chariot immediately replied and transmitted the image to the central control screen. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced around, only to see a titan giant with a mountain-like body flying over. On his shoulder stood a short, ugly alien with a long, pointy nose. Coming for me? Su Chen was a little confused. Logically speaking, he had just entered the elf continent and hadn't caused any trouble yet. So why was the other party coming straight for him? When Qi Muxue and the other 2 saw the appearance of the 2 foreign tribesmen, their faces changed. Su Chen sensed this and asked in a low voice, "Are these 2 people here for you?" "Yes." Qi Muyu nodded solemnly. "How did they know the 2 of you were here?" Su Chen asked curiously. The distance between the 2 of them wasn't short. In addition, Qi Muyu and the other 2 hadn't shown their faces yet, but the other party was able to accurately lock on to their position. This was a little strange. That's because the goblin has the ability to sense auras. As long as we're within a certain range, he can lock onto us, Qi Muyu explained. The person with the long nose was a goblin. Su Chen glanced at him and asked, "What's the feud between the 2 of you?" The other party came aggressively, so it was obvious that they weren't here to catch up. They were most likely here for revenge. "That's because we snatched that swift bird from the hands of the Titan," Qi Muyu said truthfully. "The Qi family is really a bunch of bandits." After figuring out what was going on, Su Chen sighed. Chapter 8:13. Upon hearing that, Qi Muyu lowered his head in embarrassment. Qi Muxue snorted and said coldly, "I advise you to run away quickly. Otherwise, you'll suffer if that big guy catches up to you." Su Chen looked at Qi Muxue as if he was looking at an idiot. He said sarcastically, "The Titan isn't here to chase me. At most, I'll just hand you 2 over." Upon hearing that, Qi Muxue and Qi Muxue's expressions changed. The Titan that was chasing after them was a level 10 cultivator. He was abnormally strong. Even if they had a sacred weapon, they wouldn't be a match for him. Now that they didn't have a sacred weapon, they might be killed in an instant. "If the 2 of us are killed, you won't have an easy time either. After all, the swift bird is in your hands," Qi Muxue replied unhappily. "So what? Do you think he's a match for me?" Su Chen curled his lips and said disdainfully. Qi Muxue immediately reacted. Su Chen wasn't weak to begin with. In addition, he had many experts around him and a level 10 gold devouring bug. The Titan really couldn't do anything to him. "Tell us, what do we have to do for you to help us?" Qi Muyu asked softly. The fact that Su Chen could say so much meant that he wanted to take the opportunity to blackmail them. Su Chen extended 2 fingers and said calmly, 20 level 10 energy stones and I'll guarantee that you'll be fine." "Damn it!" Qi Muxue gritted her teeth in anger. Su Chen was obviously asking for an exorbitant price. "It's fine if you don't agree. I won't force you." Su Chen shrugged and put on an indifferent look. Qi Muyu took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, "We agree." His current situation was that he had been led by the nose by Su Chen. Even though she knew it clearly, she couldn't do anything about it. In total, it's 60 level 10 energy stones. "When I have time, I'll definitely go to the Qi family and ask for it," Su Chen mumbled thoughtfully. "Do you dare to go?" Qi Muxue sneered in her heart. However, at this moment, the intelligent war chariot reminded him, "Master, the aliens are less than 100 meters away from us." Dong dong. Accompanied by the sound of the earth trembling, a mountain-like figure could be seen from afar. Before the person arrived, a wave of murderous aura rushed over first, giving people a very heavy feeling of oppression. Just as Su Chen was about to get out of the car, Xianxia said, "Su Chen, leave this Titan to us? She had never fought a level 10 Titan before, so she wanted to use this opportunity to train herself. Su Chen thought for a moment and said with a smile, "Next time." Although the Titan giant was only at level 10, it must be very powerful to be able to make Qi Wuxia and Zhang Yang wary of it. Shang, Kai Li, and the others might not be his match. In order to avoid any injuries, he decided to act personally. "He's Su Chen." Qi Wuxia and Shang Tsili were stunned when they heard Su Chen's name. Speaking of whose reputation was the most resounding in recent times, it was none other than Su Chen. It could be described as thunderous. It was rumored that although Su Chen was only a level 10 human cultivator, he was a level 10 full-time cultivator. Moreover, the strength of each profession was far beyond those of the same level. What was even more terrifying was that Su Chen was not even 20 years old yet. His talent was so strong that no one could compare to him. It was no exaggeration to say that Su Chen was definitely a rare super genius. However, the reason why Su Chen was so famous was not only because of his talent, but also because of his brutality. Someone calculated that since Su Chen made his debut, the number of powerhouses he had killed numbered in the thousands. This included not only humans but also many aliens, especially those from the 5 super races. It could be said that Su Chen was a heinous, murderous demon king. Killing without a word, he acted without any scruples. Chapter 8:14. Sister, could he really be that Su Chen? Qi Wuxia asked anxiously. Qi Muyu muttered with a solemn expression, "Let's hope not." Su Chen's identity gave them an extremely strong psychological pressure, and at the same time also made them endlessly scared. Outside the car, Su Chen waited quietly for the Titan giant's arrival. Bang! With a loud thud, the Titan giant's feet landed on the ground, causing the ground to rumble. "Human, hand over the 2 ladies from the Qi family and I'll give you a quick death." The Titan giant glanced coldly at Su Chen and said arrogantly, "What if I don't hand them over?" Su Chen curled his lips and said nonchalantly. This Titan was a little pretentious. He even dared to threaten him. He decided to teach the Titan a lesson and let him know the price he had to pay for being arrogant. "Human, don't be ungrateful." However, at this moment the goblin also shouted, "I'll make you regret living in this world later." Su Chen snorted. The gnome was only at level 8, yet he dared to be so arrogant. He must have a death wish. "Since you don't know what's good for you, go to hell." The Titan giant opened his mouth and a ferocious expression appeared on his face. Then, he threw a punch at Su Chen. Whoosh whoosh. The punch was so powerful that it stirred up the wind in the surroundings. Like a small mountain, it pressed down on Su Chen from the sky. "Why isn't he dodging?" Qi Muyu mumbled to himself. He saw clearly that Su Chen was standing on the same spot and did not show any signs of dodging. However, the Titan giant's punch was so powerful that if Su Chen did not dodge, wouldn't he be waiting for death? Shang Tsili and the rest looked serious. Even though they knew that Su Chen was invincible, they felt that Su Chen was being too arrogant. Just as the Titan giant's fist was about to hit him, Su Chen's palm glowed with a faint golden light. Then, he reached out and grabbed it. What is he trying to do? Qi Wuxia was dumbfounded. Su Chen was obviously going to fight the Titan giant head-on. Is he crazy? Just as Qi Wuxia had that thought, the Titan giant's punch had already landed on Su Chen's palm. However, the unbelievable thing was, the Titan giant's powerful punch was strangely stopped when it came into contact with Su Chen's palm. How is that possible? The Titan giant's eyes widened as he roared in shock. The weak human in front of him was actually able to withstand his punch with his own strength. It was too unbelievable. "You're done, it's my turn." Su Chen curled his lips into a strange smile. Then he leaped up. When he was right in front of the Titan giant's head, he threw a punch. The Titan giant wanted to dodge, but it was too late. His nose was hit hard. There was a loud boom. The Titan giant's nose was caved in. Moreover, under the effect of the huge impact, many of the bones on his face had cracked open, like a spider web. Bright red blood flowed out of them, making him look very miserable. Su Chen had beaten a level 10 Titan giant beyond recognition with just one punch. It showed that he was invincible. Hiss! Qi Muxue and Xianxia gasped when they saw that. They could not help but shudder. Ah! I'm going to kill you! The Titan endured the pain and roared as he reached out to grab Su Chen. Chapter 8:15. Su Chen did not panic. As the Titan giant's hand was about to grab him, he released his spirit. You're trying to stop me with your spirit. The Titan giant waved his hand furiously and tore the spirit that was attached to his body apart. However, he had lost sight of Su Chen after this delay. Where did he go? The Titan giant turned his head and searched around. Suddenly, a cold howl came from above him. Stop looking. I'm here. Oh no. When the Titan giant realized that something was wrong, his head was hit hard. The hit was so powerful that his head buzzed and his body was on the verge of collapsing. You're quite resilient. Su Chen snorted coldly and smashed down again with the original 5 poles mountain. There was a loud crash. The Titan giant was hit hard again. Half of his head was smashed. He shook a few times and fell to the ground. It was as if a mountain had collapsed and the ground was shaking. Su Chen flew down from the sky. The integrated 5 extremes mountain in his hand was like a giant hammer that kept hitting the Titan giant's head. Bang bang bang. Along with the loud crash, the Titan giant's huge body spasmed. In the end, he straightened his body and lost all signs of life. His head had been smashed into a pile of minced meat. What a brutal method. What a powerful ability. Seeing this scene, Qi Muyu swallowed his saliva fiercely. A level 10 Titan giant was killed without being able to put up any resistance. This kind of brutal scene brought a great impact to them. He's that Su Chen. There's no doubt about it. Qi Mushue's teeth were chattering. Rumor had it that Su Chen was an extremely powerful and ruthless guy. His performance was exactly the same as the young man in front of her. He was definitely Su Chen. After confirming Su Chen's true identity, Qi Muxue was instantly on tenterhooks. Cold sweat seeped out of her forehead. On the other side, after Su Chen collected the fragments that had been dropped, his gaze fell on the gnome, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. Senior, please spare my life. The gnome fell to his knees, trembling. After witnessing Su Chen's invincible might and cruel methods, he was scared out of his wits, and even the thought of running away was extinguished. Su Chen ignored it and released his mental power to crush it into dust. After collecting the fragments, he returned to the intelligent war chariot. Satoshi, let's continue our journey. Su Chen ordered, then turned to Qi Muyu and said, I have solved the problem for you. Remember your promise. Don't worry. We will definitely give you the 60 level 10 energy stones. We will definitely not delay the payment, Qi Muxue said. Su Chen felt a little strange. When did Qi Muxue become so sensible? However, he didn't think much about it. He sat back in the driver's seat and continued to rest. Qi Muxue breathed a long sigh of relief, as if relieved of a heavy burden. Behind them, the intelligent war chariot galloped all the way and spent 2 days to finally reach Moonshine City. Su Chen returned the 2 sacred tools according to the previous agreement and let Qi Muxue and Qi Muyu go. Afterward, he put the intelligent war chariot into his storage bag and entered Moonshine City with Wu Yazi and others. Because of the upcoming auction, Moonshine City could be said to be bustling at this time. Not only had a large number of elves gathered, but there was also a large number of foreign races. Moreover, the cultivation of these foreign races was not weak. Most of them were cultivators above level 9. Chapter 8:16. The elves dare to let so many powerhouses into Moonshine City. Aren't they afraid of trouble? Su Chen narrowed his eyes and glanced around, muttering. The overall strength of the elves was not even as good as that of the human race, yet they dared to let so many powerhouses enter. This was something that the mysterious heavenly continent did not dare to do. Next to him, Wu Yazi smiled and said, Su Chen, in fact you don't know. In Moonshine City, even a level 10 cultivator dares not run amok. Why? Su Chen was puzzled. Could it be that there was a super powerhouse of the elves in Moonshine City? Was it enough to deter all the foreign races? Wu Yazi explained, Because Moonshine City is actually a high-grade sacred tool. The power it can exert is comparable to a divine tool. If anyone dares to run amok here, they will be killed. In fact, he said this to remind Su Chen in disguise. After all, with Su Chen's style of doing things, he might cause a big trouble here. Comparable to a divine tool. Su Chen could not help but click his tongue. At this moment, he understood why the elves were so confident and dared to let so many powerhouses enter. It turned out that they had this trump card in hand. Senior, if that's the case, aren't we just turtles in a dream? Su Chen took a breath and said with some worry. Being in a sacred tool, if the elves conspired against him, there was a risk of being strangled at any time. He had to be vigilant. Once such a large sacred tool is activated, the resources consumed must be massive. Unless it is a last resort, the elves will never use it easily, Wu Yazi said. Su Chen nodded slightly, agreeing with Wu Yazi's view. The existence of Moonshine City should be more of a deterrent. If they really dared to kill powerhouses indiscriminately, they would have been destroyed by the joint forces of many forces long ago. For the rest of the time, Su Chen and the others wandered around while inquiring about the time and location of the auction. Finally, they got the news that the auction would be held in 3 days. There were still 3 days to spare. Su Chen simply called the others out of the chaos space. Let them experience the splendor of an outsider city. At noon the next day, Su Chen and the others were strolling around the Moonshine City when they suddenly found a man and 2 women quickly approaching them. Su Chen didn't care at first, but Wu Yazi reminded him, Su Chen, it's the 2 girls from the Qi family. Qi Muxia and Qi Muyu? Su Chen frowned and swept his gaze over. Sure enough, it was these 2 people. Furthermore, they were accompanied by a handsome young man. This person's footsteps were vigorous, and there was a fierce aura between his brows. Although he tried his best to suppress his aura, Su Chen could tell at a glance that this person was definitely a top expert. Could it be that he was here for revenge? He thought about how this person was suitable for Qi Muyu and Li Wuyo, and that this person was targeting him. Su Chen had some doubts. However, Qi Muyu and Li Wuyo had already sworn an oath. Weren't they afraid of being punished by the heavenly Tao? For a moment, Su Chen couldn't figure out the purpose of the other party, but he didn't think much about it and quietly waited for them to come over. Are you Su Chen? When Qi Muyu and the others came close, the man looked at Su Chen and asked in a loud voice. I am. What do you want? Su Chen faintly replied. My name is Qi Mufeng. I'm their second brother. The handsome man first introduced himself, and then said in a deep voice, I heard that you took away the primary life liquid and the sage-level puppet? Su Chen's expression was cold, and he said disdainfully, So what? What can I do if I don't? Chapter 8:17. You're really arrogant. Qi Mufeng snorted and said slowly, Rumor has it that you've killed a saint-level gold-devouring bug? You should be strong enough. I, Qi Mufeng, challenge you. Challenge me? Su Chen was stunned for a moment. Then he looked at Qi Mufeng again and smiled contemptuously. Are you worthy? These words fell on Qi Mufeng's ears like needles. Gulp! Qi Mufeng swallowed hard, his face turning red and white. Su Chen, even if you don't want to fight with my second brother, you don't have to humiliate him at all, right? Qi Muyu said angrily. Qi Mufeng didn't have any bad intentions when he challenged Su Chen. It was just an exchange of pointers between powerhouses. But Su Chen didn't give him any face and even took the opportunity to humiliate him. It was really hateful. I asked you to come? You're the one who made a mistake. How can you blame me? Su Chen snorted with a sullen face. Qi Muyu even put on a posture of denouncing him. Did he think he had a big face? Su Chen wouldn't tolerate him. Qi Muyu was so angry that the corners of his mouth twitched and he almost fainted. Qi Mufeng took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in his heart. Su Chen, if you don't dare to accept my challenge, just say it. There's no need to mock me. Provoke me? Su Chen sneered in his heart. This kind of childish provocation was useless to him. But what he couldn't figure out was that Qi Muyu should be very clear about his strength. Then why did Qi Mufeng still dare to challenge him? What's your cultivation? Su Chen thought for a moment and asked. Level 1 Saint level. Qi Mufeng said proudly. Sure enough, Su Chen muttered to himself. Since Qi Mufeng dared to challenge him even after knowing that he could kill the sage-class gold-devouring beetles, he suspected that Qi Mufeng was a sage-class expert. Moreover, judging from Qi Mufeng's confident look, it was very likely that he was a powerhouse who far surpassed his peers. When Wu Yazi and the others learned that Qi Mufeng had screamed at a saint, their expressions changed. Indeed, there's always someone better than you out there. Xianxia clicked her tongue and sighed. Qi Mufeng looked like he was in his 20s. For him to become a saint at such a young age. His cultivation talent was comparable to Su Chen's. Are you afraid now that you know that I'm a saint? Seeing that Su Chen did not speak for a long time, Qi Mufeng provoked. Su Chen pursed his lips and said indifferently, I'm indeed afraid. I'm afraid that I'll accidentally kill you. Since Qi Mufeng wanted to humiliate himself, he might as well fulfill his wish. Qi Mufeng was not angry, but happy. He stared at Su Chen and said, So you accept my challenge? I can accept, but I'll have to add some stakes, Su Chen said with a smile. There was no practical meaning in teaching Qi Mufeng a lesson. He might as well take the opportunity to get some benefits. What do you want to bet? Qi Mufeng said indifferently. To him, as long as he could fight with Su Chen, even if he had to pay a little reward, it did not matter. Ordinary things don't catch my eye. Su Chen muttered thoughtfully, then said, 40 level 10 energy stones will do. Qi Muyu owed her 60 level 10 energy stones. If she won another 40, it would be just enough to make it a round number. There's no need to bet so big, right? Qi Mufeng clicked his tongue. 40 level 10 energy stones was an astronomical figure to him. If he lost, where would he get more? You don't even have the guts to do that, and you still dare to challenge me? Su Chen mocked. Qi Mufeng gritted his teeth. Just as he was about to reply, Qi Muyu interrupted. Second brother, let's not compete with him. Chapter 8:18. Qi Muyu had suffered a great loss at the hands of Su Chen. Su Chen had extorted a saint-level puppet, a bottle of primary life fluid, and 60 level 10 energy stones. Since Su Chen dared to make such a request, he must be confident in winning. Qi Mufeng might be a saint level, but his cultivation would be suppressed on the continent. He might not be Su Chen's match. Qi Muyu did not want to see Qi Mufeng suffer a loss, so he tried his best to stop him. Hearing this, Qi Mufeng hesitated. It was rare to meet someone as strong as Su Chen. To be honest, he did not want to miss this opportunity to spar. However, 40 level 10 energy stones were also a problem for him. After thinking for a while, he said, I don't have any level 10 energy stones, but I can use a piece of information as a replacement. Information? What information could replace 40 level 10 energy stones? Tell me about it, Su Chen said calmly. There was no harm in listening. If it was not valuable, he could reject it. He would not lose anything. Qi Mufeng did not beat around the bush. He said directly, I know the whereabouts of a saint-level puppet. It's similar to the one you have. A saint-level puppet? It should be from the machine race. If it was a complete machine race puppet, it would be worth 40 level 10 energy stones. The key was only a piece of information. He did not know if the puppet was complete. Thus, its value would be greatly reduced. Su Chen thought for a while and shook his head. Your information is too worthless. It's not worth my time. I have another piece of information. Qi Mufeng gritted his teeth and seemed to be struggling. Su Chen signaled Qi Mufeng to continue. In a secret realm of the elves, there is a spring of life. I can tell you the exact location, Qi Mufeng said softly. Spring of life? Su Chen frowned and muttered. This was the first time he had heard of the spring of life, so he didn't know what it was. However, he could also imagine that something linked to life wouldn't be too bad. On the side, Wu Yazi's expression changed. He whispered to Su Chen. Su Chen agree. Su Chen was slightly surprised and asked, Senior, you know about the spring of life? Wu Yazi explained, the effect of the spring of life is the same as the primary life liquid. Moreover, it has the additional effect of accelerating the growth of spiritual plants. Hiss. Su Chen took a deep breath and almost shouted out in excitement. Accelerating the growth of spirit plants was too important to him. There were many demon plants and holy items in the plant dimension, but they were too old. Even with the time accelerator, he couldn't harvest them in a short period of time. It could be said that he urgently needed something that could accelerate the growth of spirit plants. Su Chen coughed softly and said without batting an eyelid, "These two pieces of information added together are somewhat valuable. Let's make it worth 20 level 10 energy stones." What a big appetite! Wuxia clicked his tongue. He knew that Su Chen had Qi Mufeng in his grasp and was determined to make Qi Mufeng sell everything he had. "I don't have 20 level 10 energy stones." Qi Mufeng laughed bitterly. "It's okay. I'll owe you for now. Anyway, your sister still owes me 60 energy stones. I'll collect them when I have time," Su Chen said casually. Qi Mufeng stared blankly at Su Chen, speechless for a moment. From Su Chen's tone, it was as if he had him in his grasp. However, he was still a saint-level expert. How could he be looked down on so much? "Do you agree or not?" Su Chen was a bit impatient. He could sense that Qi Mufeng was a martial arts fanatic and wouldn't miss the opportunity to spar with him. Chapter 8:19. "I agree." Qi Mufeng gritted his teeth and said. Su Chen was overjoyed and could not wait to say, "Then let's go out of the city and exchange pointers." Private fights were not allowed in Moonshine City, especially between high-level cultivators. He did not want to break the rules here. "Wait a minute. I have 2 requests." Qi Mufeng interrupted. "2 more requests?" Su Chen was slightly displeased, but he still said patiently, "Tell me." Qi Mufeng cleared his throat and said solemnly, "First, if I win, you don't have to give me energy stones. Just give me back the saint-level puppet and the life original fluid. Second, if you can beat me, I will tell you the location of the 2 secret realms, but I have to go with you." "Okay." Su Chen did not hesitate at all. It was absolutely impossible for Qi Mufeng to defeat him, so these things would still belong to him. As for going to the secret realms together, it would also be beneficial for him. At least it could prove that these 2 secret realms really existed. Seeing Su Chen's reply so quickly, Qi Muyu could not help but begin to worry. A person's reputation was like a tree's shadow. It was rumored that all the saint-level experts of the human race had joined forces to suppress Su Chen, but they could not do anything to Su Chen. It could be seen how terrible Su Chen was in the end. She could even imagine that Su Chen was simply an invincible existence in the human race. If she wanted to deal with Su Chen, perhaps she could only do it in the void. And Qi Mufeng insisted on exchanging pointers with Su Chen. It was very likely that he had fallen into Su Chen's scheme. But things had come to this point, and she was powerless to stop it. She could only sigh faintly. Later, Su Chen's group quickly left Moonshine City. It took them an hour to find a secluded place to stop. Because it was a duel between level 10 experts, the damage caused was unimaginable. The cultivation of Tan Lin and the others was too weak. Su Chen was worried that they would be affected, so he put them into the chaos space. "Su Chen, swords have no eyes. Please forgive me if I hurt you." Before making a move, Qi Mufeng reminded him. Su Chen could feel that these words were not arrogant, but really meant well. However, even if he knew this, he was still unwilling to listen. Because in the continent, no one could defeat him. Qi Mufeng obviously hadn't realized this, so he decided to teach Qi Mufeng a lesson. "Once I make a move, it's easy for me to lose control. If you feel that you can't handle it, you must admit defeat immediately. Don't try to be brave, or else you might lose your life," Su Chen said seriously. "How arrogant!" Qi Mufeng clicked his tongue and stopped arguing with Su Chen. While the atmosphere on the field was tense, Wuxia and the others gathered together and began to block the way. "I bet that Su Chen can defeat Qi Mufeng in less than 2 minutes." Yuchi Jingyang said confidently. "Qi Mufeng is a sage after all. I bet that he can last for 3 minutes, Xianxia said with some reservations. "I think 2 minutes, Li Kuiyang agreed. 2 minutes and 20 seconds, Nan Lichuan said firmly. After the 4 of them finished speaking, they all looked at Wuxia. You guys are underestimating Su Chen. I bet that Su Chen can defeat Qi Mufeng in less than a minute, Wu Yazi said confidently. Since they didn't try to cover up their conversation, Qi Mufeng and the other two could clearly hear what they were saying. These guys are too despicable. Qi Muxia was furious and cursed in her heart. Defeating a saint-level powerhouse in less than a minute? The thoughts of Wu Yazi and the others were simply deranged. Chapter 8:20. Qi Mufeng's face was gloomy, and his expression was ugly to the extreme. Being looked down upon in front of him made him feel extremely humiliated. These guys are too much. Su Chen sighed and turned to Qi Mufeng saying, "They're just telling the truth, don't mind them." Qi Mufeng's expression froze. Telling the truth? Don't mind? How could he have the nerve to say that? Qi Mufeng felt like he had been dealt a critical blow, and could not recover for a long time. "All right, let's hurry up," Su Chen reminded. Qi Mufeng took a deep breath, and forced himself to be alert. "Then let's begin." If he continued to talk to Su Chen, he would be angered to death. As soon as he finished speaking, he charged fiercely at Su Chen, vowing to defeat Su Chen in the shortest time possible to prove himself. Qi Mufeng was a sage, and his reputation was not undeserved. He rushed in front of Su Chen, raised his hand, and smashed down with a punch. However, there was a dazzling starlight on his fist, and it carried with it the power to cut through space. "Still interesting," Su Chen commented, and then released his mind power. Sizzle. In a violent friction sound, the mind power was torn apart by the dazzling starlight, and it only served to block it for a very short period of time. For Su Chen, this short buffer was enough. Just as Qi Mufeng's punch was about to hit him, a faint golden light appeared on his palm, and then he grabbed forward. There was a muffled bang. Qi Mufeng's fist was firmly caught, and he could not move. "Your defense." Before Qi Mufeng could say anything, he suddenly felt an extremely cold chill coming towards him. Even the dazzling starlight on his fist dimmed under the attack of the chill. "Oh no!" Qi Mufeng was shocked. Su Chen's ice spells were too violent. Once he was frozen, he would definitely lose. "Let's fight." Qi Mufeng clenched his teeth, and the starlight on his fist suddenly exploded. After shattering the ice spell that was sweeping towards him, he withdrew his fist and hurriedly retreated. Even second brother is no match for him? Qi Muxia's face turned dark when she saw that Qi Mufeng was at a disadvantage the moment they exchanged blows. Qi Muyu secretly shook his head. He already knew that Qi Mufeng was no match for Su Chen, but he never thought that the gap between them would be so big. The starlight cutting technique that Qi Mufeng used was a special ability that he had awakened in the Void Battleground. It could be considered one of his trump cards. But in front of Su Chen, it couldn't even cause a ripple. Moreover, looking at Su Chen's calm expression, he did not use any strength at all. "You're stronger than I thought." Qi Mufeng kept a distance from Su Chen and said solemnly. If he had not reacted fast enough, he might have been defeated. At this moment, he still had some lingering fear. Compared to that sage-level gold-devouring bug, you're still lacking. You've disappointed me. Su Chen glanced at Qi Mufeng and shook his head with a sigh. At first, he thought that since Qi Mufeng dared to take the initiative to challenge him, his strength should be at least on par with the sage-level gold-devouring bug. But he did not expect that Qi Mufeng would be so weak. At most, he was only a little stronger than Feng Hexiang. If that's all you've got, you'll be humiliating yourself if you continue to fight. It's best if you surrender, Su Chen said in a deep voice. Hearing that, Qi Mufeng's face turned pale. He shouted angrily, "Su Chen, I still have my strongest killer move. If you can block it, I don't mind surrendering." "Go ahead." Su Chen curled his lips and said calmly. Chapter 8:21. Su Chen, I have to remind you that this move of mine is extremely powerful. Once I use it, there's no way I can stop it. You have to be mentally prepared. Qi Mufeng said seriously. Got it. Su Chen nodded, still looking nonchalant. Seeing that, Qi Mufeng stopped nagging and a blue long sword appeared in his hand. He raised his hand and the blue longsword flew into the air. It trembled slightly and became 10 feet long. Suddenly, an extremely sharp sword essence spread out. At the same time, there seemed to be a resonance in the void. There was a thunderous roar and tens of thousands of lightning bolts appeared in the void. The lightning flashed and the deafening roar was endless. It looks pretty awesome. Just as Su Chen was marveling at it, he saw tens of thousands of lightning bolts surging into the giant blue sword. In the next moment, the giant blue sword changed and strangely turned into a giant dragon with flashing lightning bolts. Accompanied by a dragon's roar, the entire void trembled. Swimming Dragon Sword Art. 10,000 Lightning Sword Transformation Technique. Just as the blue dragon appeared, Qi Mufeng chanted and leaped into the air. Soon, he became one with the blue dragon. In an instant, a violent pressure swept out in all directions. Wherever it passed, even the vegetation on the ground seemed to tremble. What a terrifying divine power! Wu Yazi and the rest were shocked. When the pressure came, they felt a chill run down their spines. Second brother has mastered the 10,000 Lightning Sword Transformation Technique. Qi Muxue and Qi Muyu were extremely excited. The Swimming Dragon Sword Art was one of the most powerful techniques in the Qi family, and the 10,000 Lightning Sword Transformation Technique was the hardest divine power to master. There were many geniuses in the Qi family, but only their Laozu could master this divine power. They didn't expect Qi Mufeng to master it too. Second brother will win for sure. Qi Muxue shouted excitedly. The power of the 10,000 Thunder Transformation Sword Technique was unparalleled. Once it was used, it was enough to deal a fatal blow to a cultivator of a higher level. In her opinion, there was no way Su Chen could resist it. Sword Intent Manifestation. Body and sword as one. Su Chen narrowed his eyes and muttered to himself. Qi Mufeng's move was a little similar to man and sword as one, but it was much more exquisite than that. It had been a long time since Su Chen had encountered such a powerful killing move. His fighting spirit immediately soared. Su Chen, it's not too late to surrender. Qi Mufeng's authoritative voice suddenly sounded from the blue dragon. Bring it on. Su Chen was not afraid. Qi Mufeng had killer moves, but so did he. He wanted to see whether Qi Mufeng's 1,000 Thunder Transformation swordsmanship or his 1,000 Light 10 Shadows fighting skill was more powerful. You're overestimating yourself. Seeing that Su Chen still dared to boast shamelessly, Qi Muxue snorted coldly. Take this. Qi Mufeng roared and suddenly launched an attack. He saw the blue dragon meandering in the air, pressing down on Su Chen with the force of thousands of catties. Su Chen also used the 1,000 Light 10 Shadows fighting skill at this time. 1 turned into 2, 2 turned into 4. In the blink of an eye, shadows that looked exactly like him appeared in the surroundings. What kind of supernatural power is this? Qi Muyu and Qi Muxue were stunned. Shang Caili and the others were also inexplicably shocked. Among the people present, only Wu Yazi and Li Kuiyang had seen Su Chen use the 1,000 Light 10 Shadows fighting skill, so they were a little calmer. Qi Mufeng, you're bound to lose. Wu Yazi sighed with emotion. He had personally experienced the power of the 10,000 Lights 10 Shadows fighting technique. At that time, when Su Chen was at level 9, he used this move to deal with him. As a pseudo-saint, it was difficult for him to resist. Su Chen was now at level 10, and the power of this move was even more violent. How could Qi Mufeng resist it? Chapter 822. The blue dragon rushed down and was immediately surrounded by the 11 Su Chens. 5 Su Chens joined forces to release their spiritual power and suppressed the blue dragon. All kinds of magic arts fell from the sky. One of the shadows held the primordial 5 Poles mountain and smashed it heavily on the blue dragon's body. There was a loud bang. The blue dragon's huge body was smashed to the ground, creating a deep pit. Su Chen's real body held the chaos sky-splitting sword. He hesitated for a moment and didn't slash down in the end. Qi Mufeng's innumerable thunder sword art might be stronger than the saint-level gold devouring beetles in terms of attack power, but its defensive power was far inferior. Once the chaos sky-splitting sword slashed down, even the saint-level gold devouring beetles couldn't resist it, let alone Qi Mufeng. He had a good impression of Qi Mufeng and didn't hold a deep grudge against him. Naturally, He wouldn't kill him. Qi Mufeng was crushed under his feet. The outcome of the battle was clear. Su Chen put away the primordial Five Poles Mountain and the Chaos Sky-Splitting Sword, and the 10 shadows also disappeared. Seeing that Su Chen didn't continue to attack, Qi Muyu and Nan Linchuan heaved a long sigh of relief. But their eyes were full of awe when they looked at Su Chen. It was not until this moment that they really saw Su Chen's strength. They even realized that even in the void, ordinary first-stage saint-level masters were no match for Su Chen. It turns out that Su Chen is so powerful. Nan Linchuan couldn't help but exclaim. When he fought with Su Chen before, he was crushed by Su Chen. He thought that Su Chen was relying on the advantage of being a full-time cultivator, so he was somewhat unconvinced. After seeing Su Chen's strength, he realized that Su Chen didn't use his full strength at all. They were just fooling around. "Brother Qi, are you okay?" Su Chen took a breath and shouted at the deep pit. "I'm fine." After being ravaged by Su Chen, Qi Mufeng had already returned to his original form and slowly climbed out of the deep pit. At this moment, Qi Mufeng was dressed in rags and was in a sorry state. However, his aura was still stable, which meant that he hadn't suffered much damage. "Su Chen, you win." Qi Mufeng's expression was desolate. He sighed and said, "I'll accept my loss. I'll tell you where the 2 secret realms are. As for the 20 grade 10 energy stones, I'll think of a way to give them to you as soon as possible." Su Chen nodded slightly. Although he looked calm on the surface, his heart was bursting with joy. In this battle, not only had he obtained information about 2 secret realms, but he had also obtained another 20 level 10 energy stones. It could be said that he had profited greatly. "Su Chen, before I tell you the location of the 2 secret realms, I have a presumptuous request." Qi Mufeng coughed lightly and said embarrassedly, "Brother Qi, feel free to speak your mind." Su Chen wasn't bothered by it. "Brother Su's strength is something I've never seen before. Brother Su and I got to know each other after a fight. I'd like to become sworn brothers with Brother Su." Qi Mufeng said seriously with a solemn expression. "Is second brother crazy?" Qi Mushue's mouth was wide open. She was stunned. She didn't like Su Chen at all. If Su Chen really agreed, how would they get along in the future? Qi Muyu also had a face full of surprise, but after recovering, he was ecstatic in his heart. Su Chen's talent and strength were visible to the naked eye. It was almost certain that he would advance to the sacred stage. Once Su Chen advanced to the sacred stage, his strength would definitely increase by leaps and bounds. He would even have a place in the void. Being on good terms with such a talented person was definitely beneficial to the Qi family. From the bottom of his heart, he was very supportive of Qi Mufeng and Su Chen becoming sworn brothers. He also hoped that Su Chen would agree. You're tuning in to the Wisdom Diary YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.